All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Well, hello, and welcome to everyone to the Red Cup Rants. I'm your girl LDZ, and yeah, my counterpart will be here, sometime today. So I'm not even going to be worried. But how's everybody? I got a lot to say today, because I'm a Cowboys fan. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't know how to say it positively, but yeah, here we are. I don't want to start with them though, because we know the stupidity and we know how a lot of people feel. I am with a lot of people. And I go, you know what? I can't even get mad at y'all. Yeah, Freddie, I can send it to you. I can't even get mad at you, like, came on, because I thought y'all were gonna win. Like, I didn't expect us to win, so that's how this goes. Like, it'd be different if I expected. I think I'd be more hurt if I expected the Cowboys to actually win this, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't expect to win. I picked them because they were my team, but I still didn't. If you watched the show last Friday, that I do, and I did it with Tony and Tristan on Just Say the Truth on ASAP Network. They picked the Niners, and only reason I picked the Cowboys was because like kind of loyalty. It's a good word, loyalty. It's the only reason why I picked it. Other than that, I wouldn't even picked it. It was hard. It was hard to pick them. Like if I posted on social media, like my picks, I had an asterisk mark next to the Cowboys, and it was because I expected them to lose. Everybody expected us to lose. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just anybody else. I'm only doing this, Freddie, because I'm nice. That's all I'm saying.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm gonna be calm. I promise you.
Yes. Everybody, this is Freddie. Freddie, I do a show with Freddie. Well, I used to do a show with Freddie because he dumped me. He dumped all of us. He dumped us and went to bigger and better things. Freddie brought me on ASAP Network. My co-host Dre will probably be around here somewhere real soon. And Freddie is a Giants fan, so he's loving that the Cowboys lost. He's loving every bit of this Cowboys loss. I laughed. Like at the end, like in my other group chat, I sent a video of just pure laughter because there was nothing else I could do. Like there was nothing else I could expect. We lost in a very Cowboy way. Man, let me tell you, John. He if y'all don't know, because Freddie probably doesn't know, my husband hates Dakota. Like hates. And when I tell you, John, he scared the toddler. He scared his son. His son came up holding my leg. Because he was so scared. And he's like, "This is why we should have never paid Dak. Blah blah. This is why we should have never paid him all this money." And I was like, "Well, somebody had to call it." Like at first, I thought it was, at first when I first saw the play, um, I really thought it was Dak. Freddie, I'm gonna put it out there. I thought it was Dak all the way. Like I thought his dumb ass ran. When I found out it was a called play, fire them all. Fire. Freddie's having a field day. He don't want to, just like I didn't want Joe to leave New York. Freddie don't want us. Freddie don't want Mike McCarthy to leave Dallas.
Yep.
And I get it. But yeah, my physical therapist, I went to physical therapy, and my chiropractor works on my husband's back, and he was like, "So how many new curse words did the little one learn?" It's like, he didn't learn none for me, but he definitely learned a few, probably from his dad. He was mad.
You know, me watching the game, I went into the game. I said the Cowboys is going to win because if you look at this Cowboys roster, they have talent on the offensive end and the defensive end. Like you'd be foolish to say that this team's not a talented team. It is. From Dak Prescott to Ezekiel Elliott to Tony Pollard to Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Godwin's down with Gallup is down with injury. But if you look at this defensive side as well, you have Parsons, you have Lawrence, you have Diggs, you have these weapons, But some way somehow the Cowboys always find a way to get in their own way. I'm looking at start of the game. 49ers starting the game like they've been, one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, they just running the ball. Jimmy G's looking like a formidable quarterback to start the game. I'm like, whoa, okay. Kudos to Kyle Shanahan for becoming a phenomenal offensive coach. Hey, John.
Man, John, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like I'm willing to take one for the team and drive him to Denver and leave him there. Like I'm willing.
Well,
I'm willing to
I was
do
just
that.
about to say we finally, the world has finally seen that Kellen Moore is not ready to be a head coach in the NFL. There's not one particular person that you can blame for this loss. It's pretty much everybody. You can blame Dak Prescott for him not making the plays that he needed to make. You can blame a CeeDee Lamb, who was basically a no-show. I believe he caught one pass, like 20-something yards. You can blame Amari Cooper. You get paid all that money to be the number one receiver. You had a few catches, but, you had a touchdown, but, we need to see more. Ezekiel Elliott, can we go ahead and say the days of Zeke Elliott being that dominant back that he's been for a while is over? The Cowboys, they're in a tough situation. There's one person that I will not blame, and that is Jerry Jones. Even though I'm not a fan of Jerry Jones, but you mean to tell me this man gave Dak Prescott the weapons that he got him, and they could not take it to the next level? I'm pretty sure the dude by the name Aaron Rodgers wish that he had a Zeke Elliott, wish he had a Amari Cooper, wish he had a CeeDee Lamb, wish he had a Gallup and a Pollard on top of that. So Jerry Jones, I'm gonna hop off in a few, but Jerry Jones was pissed off. That might be a good thing for you, LaDonna, because somebody's head about to get cut off. He's coming. And one thing that you might need to be afraid of, it might be the wrong person they had to be cut off, because I believe this might be another Jason Garrett 2.0, where they get rid of Mike McCarthy, and instead of that, they elevate Ed Moore into the head coaching position.
And that's what I'm scared of. Like, to be honest, that's what I'm scared of. My two other co-hosts showed up. This is Freddie. This is Dre, and this is Phil.
It's good.
That's what my fear is, that we're still going to have Kellen Moore. Exactly. And he is like the last of the Jerry hired somebody. Just like Dez was the last player, Kellen is the last Jerry hire. And dude, I just want exactly. I agree. I'm with John. If Kellen Moore
hold on. I want to say something to you and John. John,
Woo.
John, LDZ. I know
It's
it's been bad
it's a,
days down there in New York, but I will say this: we will be making the right decision. We will be getting Mr. Flores as our head coach. We will find a very decent, reputable general manager. You know, if you want to come to a franchise who wants to win, a franchise who knows what it takes to win Super Bowl in the recent years, or at least more recent than the Cowboys, come on down here to New York. Put on it red, white, and blue. Russell Wilson will be our quarterback of the
oh, so
upcoming
you
season.
call it bold predictions? You doing
I'm
bold
calling it.
predictions?
Russell
You
Wilson
call
will
it
be the
it's
quarterback for the Giants. Sierra wants to be somewhere where she can market her music. And where is that place? Hey, LA, California, West Coast, they have their QBs. But guess what the next biggest market is? New York. And guess who needs the quarterback? What team? The New York Giants. So, hey,
I'm
I'm
just
just saying.
I like the motivation. I'm just
That's what I
I
need.
don't think
I
it's
need
gonna
to
happen.
shut myself up,
I
man.
like the you know what I'm saying, I support everybody's dream. You know, if y'all tell me y'all want to go to the moon and y'all going in a hoopty, I'm gonna support your dream. I'm not gonna say not go, but I'm gonna, I'm gonna support your dream. So if you think that Russell Wilson is coming to the Giants, I'll support I'll support your dream. What happened now? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
Hi
Tony's
Tony.
ready.
Hi Tony. It's been a minute, Tony. Um, it's been a long day in this household. You know, there's been so many things that happened in the Cowboy. I will say I just saw Dakota apologize to the refs. It just like came out that he apologized to the refs for his comments that he made. Do you know what y'all know what he meant? Like the comment he made, like he made the comment basically saying, you know, when he found out that stuff was getting thrown at the refs, he kind of condoned it. And so everybody, you know, all the refs are coming after him now. You know, you can't really speak your mind anymore. You know what I'm saying? Even though, and this is what happens when you talk to somebody after they just lost. They're going to probably say some things they shouldn't have said. You know, and this is what happened. Like the NBA, they kind of backed off a little bit. But this is what happens when you talk. I say you talk to pissed off people. Sometimes you get pissed off answers. I was gonna go to Dre, but he'll come back. But yeah, this game, like I said, we lost in a very cowboy way. Phil, you there? Phil, maybe. Phil. Oh, there you are. There you are, Phil. I can hear you. Maybe not. There you
Yeah.
are. Okay, there you are. Because I want to hear your professional opinion of this fuckery. That's the best way. That's the best way to describe the Cowboys ending.
That wow. That was something I didn't expect. I'm very. I don't see how anybody can. All right. First off, I'll give you guys credit for making the comeback that you did. You look like you guys were dead in the water. You made some great defensive plays to get yourselves back in the game. But for me, what turned me, what I'm so perturbed about is how do you not know clock management? You knew running up the field was not going to stop the clock. Why not just throw the ball out of bounds? Give yourself another shot.
Did they know that?
But see, when you run down the field, the ref does have to touch the ball. It's not a made up rule, it's legit. They have to touch the ball to reset it. So why run the football at that point in time? Now, he made a hell of a play because he got them some very decent yardage on that, but it does not stop the clock. You are out of timeouts. Someone on that sideline should have made a better decision. Say, hey, you know, if you can't get this, just throw it out of bounds.
You know, Mike McCarthy thought they were going to have another possession, right?
And then at first I thought they were until because it looks like the ref touched the ball and it looked like they hiked the ball in time, but I looked at the clock and it wasn't the case. That was the most bizarre endings that I've ever seen in a football game. Ever. We've seen more ties happen than something like that happen. And we all said ties in football was very rare. That was I don't think that's ever happened in a playoff game ever. I don't think that's ever happened. So, but leave it to the Cowboys to have something like that. Leave it to the Cowboys to have something like that.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
But like I said, I commend you guys. I commend you guys. I commend them for coming back in the game like they were dead in the water. I thought they were done.
Come back in what game?
They came back. They came back.
They did a little bit of. They did a little bit.
They made it a game because it looks like it was dead in the water. They made it a game.
It was Anthony Brown that picked 6.
Now, my brother, what's your name? What's your name?
That's Phil.
Now, Phil, you said everything about right, and I you know, I give you kudos. But now, one thing I'm not going to let you do is come up here and make these Cowboy fans feel a little happy.
Trust and believe. That's the last thing I'm trying to do. That is the last thing I'm trying to do to make the Cowboys look good. I can't say nothing to make them look good at this point.
But me and you both know, like most Cowboy games, that the 49ers in that fourth quarter was really running the ball. They said, Jimmy G, you're not going to intercept the ball, throw an interception again. We ain't trying to go back to the Super Bowl against the Rams. We're going to continue to just run the football, to run the clock out. So I will say that, you know, Cowboys got a lot of their times and meaningful time because it really didn't mean anything toward the end. All they wanted to do was run the clock out.
Ricky, to answer that question, no. It was called by Mike McCarthy. And now now I am starting to realize
you say that I'm gonna correct you on that. You say that. That could be a PR. That could be hold on. Jerry Jones would say, hey, that call was from you, not Kellen Moore. We're trying to protect the golden child.
No, he came out and already said he did it, that he made the call and he thought they were going to have another possession. This is what Mike McCarthy said.
No, that's
not
what I'm saying.
Jerry.
No,
this is
Jerry told Mike.
He asked.
No, Jerry told Mike, hey, this is what you say. You made it wasn't the golden child, it was you.
Doing a show.
That's what I'm saying. Jerry told Mike McCarthy.
But this is what he said. So it's Mike McCarthy. It was not Kellen Moore. I have a feeling like it should have been overridden by Kellen Moore. Like somebody. But I was back to somebody said this comment and it made so much more sense. This is more understanding why Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers only has one ring. Bad man. I'm telling you, your dude has one ring with a poorly managed coach. Man.
Number 2 on the way. Number 2 on the way.
I picked Green Bay to win. Actually, you should be proud of me. How do you feel? Yeah.
What?
I'm good. I had to go and I did some repairs on the house. I had to put some film up, so I cut my hand. That's why I've been in and out because I've been trying to curtail this bleeding. So if you see me going in and out,
no be holding on blood thinners.
Exactly. Hold on. Stop it, because I'm on blood thinners. So stop it.
Yeah, I had to put some film on the front window because it was just wide open. And, you know, me being the new homeowner, I ain't want nobody all looking at my house, so I had to put some film on there.
Oh, you bougie now.
Oh, you see the background now? This ain't the apartment no more. This the mini mansion now.
Oh, we bougie now.
Yeah, this the mini
bougie
mansion now.
Hold on, I'm surprised.
Mansion. Oh,
I'm surprised he didn't do it by the pool.
Yeah, I
was waiting for it behind the pool.
Nah.
Trouble in that pool if you want to.
It is 51 degrees outside, and I'm not going nowhere near that pool. It's chilly outside, so no. But yeah, I got 3 bedrooms, 2,000 square feet with a pool. I'm bougie now. Definitely bougie.
Yeah, he bougie as
So
hell. He was
yeah,
already
I've been here
bougie
about
before.
All I know is
I've been here
your
about
ass
3
falling that
weeks,
pool
man,
you on your
and
own.
I'm settling in. So nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I just did some repairs around the house today. It's been a very busy day. I cut my finger in the process, so I got a Band-Aid on it now, so I should be good. But if I have to go and fix it again, I'll jump in and out the show. So what we talking about?
So-called America's team.
We were talking about Jerry and them.
Oh,
Jerry
well,
Jones. I said, but then my last comment was basically, this is my understanding of why Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers only won one ring together. Because I feel like Mike McCarthy is the worst person to clock manage. Like, I think he has the worst clock management because this isn't his first rodeo. Like, we've lost probably 200 games, regular season games that
yeah, well,
were because of clock management.
I will say this first and foremost. I know everybody's blaming Mike McCarthy for Green Bay's problems, but Aaron Rodgers should shoulder some of that blame. But that's another story for another show. About the game, I will say this: I picked Dallas to win just because I said that I trust Dak more than I trust Jimmy because Jimmy will always give you at least one pick, and he threw a terrible ball on that interception. It was terrible. Like I could have caught that ball if I was standing there. But I will say this: I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Because I missed the first half of the game because I was sleeping because of work or whatever. So I woke up and it was 23-7 San Francisco, and I was just like, I'm sitting there. I had to like get sleep out my eyes and everything. I had to make sure it was good. I was just like, wow, I didn't expect it to be, because they talked about how to. I said it plenty of times on the show. I think Dallas has. And I said it plenty of times. I said I think Dallas has one of the best offenses in the league, and they do. I think they were number 1 or number 2. They averaged like 33 points a game. So scoring wasn't the problem, and they finally had. It wasn't a top tier defense, but it was opportunistic. Like they created turnovers to get the ball back to the offense, and then the offense did what they did. So in my mind, I was like, oh, Dallas has got this easy. I mean, I know San Francisco had a good front seven, which they do. They have a good defense, and then on top of that, they was missing Bosa and Warner, 2 of their best defensive players. They were missing 2 of their best players, and you telling me Dallas couldn't expose that? So I will blame Mike McCarthy for that. So there's 3 people I should blame. I'm gonna blame Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna blame Kellen Moore, and I'm gonna blame Dak Prescott because why the hell would you call a draw? Knowing you don't have no timeouts, why would you call a draw? Don't get me wrong, he got you the yardage to get a first down, but this ain't college. They don't stop the clock to reset the change. This ain't college. The NFL's like, all right, you got the first down. Now what you gonna do? So when he ran that draw, I was just like, they're not gonna get another playoff. Even if the ref got the ball, they maybe would have stopped it and he put it. Would they really had it? Would they? It was like maybe 3 seconds left. Would they really got another playoff? I don't think so. I don't think they would have. And it's funny. It's funny. Somebody said it in the chat too. They said the Cowboys haven't won since Jimmy left, and it's true. The way that Jimmy got kicked, the way that Jerry treated Jimmy after he got those Super Bowl.
I call it the Jimmy Johnson curse.
Yeah. After that, the Cowboys haven't been the same. Trust me. Even though they had some great teams, the Tony Romo years, they had a team that went. T.O. was there. They went 13-3 and had the number 1 seed, and then they ended up losing to the Giants. And it just seems like ever since that whole thing, the Cowboys haven't won a playoff game. So I'm just like, I mean, it's just like I just don't understand. Like and I said it, and me and my BFF talked about it before. We said it plenty of times. I think Jerry needs to give up the GM rights and let a competent GM come in and make GM decisions. Like, just be the owner. Just sign the checks. Just sign the checks.
I
to these
agree.
players and let somebody let somebody come in that's a competent GM that knows how to operate and manage and draft these players for your team. And I said it before. I said the downfall of this franchise is going to be Jerry and his ego. Like he doesn't want to be wrong. He doesn't want to be wrong. And I think that's what's holding the Cowboys back from making that jump to be a Super Bowl champion or be in the Super Bowl or be considered a contender. So it's a lot of answers because I was shocked how it happened. Like I didn't expect San Francisco. I mean, even though they made a valiant comeback, it's just that last drive I was like questioning like who was calling the plays. Like I don't know if it was Kellen Moore. I don't know if it was Mike McCarthy. I don't know who ended up making that call. That and if I'm Dak, I'm like, why am I running a draw? I'm the quarterback. I will audible out. Ain't no way in
Exactly.
hell I'm running a draw knowing I ain't got no timeouts. I ain't doing that. Like that's stupid. And
All that is crazy to me.
it is.
Yeah.
All
It
of
really
those
is.
coaches on that sideline, and
Mhm.
no one thought to say, "Hey, you only got 10 seconds left on this clock. You
Mhm.
run this play, you get downfield. We're not gonna have enough time to put the
Right.
ball down and snap it again."
Right.
No
Like
one
like
said anything. And now that you have this, it is the most bizarre
But yeah.
ending of a game that I've ever seen. And it cost them.
it
Lack
really
of
did.
communication and lack of your personnel not knowing what's going on cost you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
And
give
I
the Cowboys all credit in the world. Like I said, they made it a game again because I thought they were dead in the water. I thought
right.
they were
Right.
done. I just thought that was it. I was like, okay, so now we're going to
Mhm.
have another thing like this. And then they start to show that fight. And I'm not so certain. I can't say for sure. But in my opinion, if it was more time on that clock, I think they score and win because they had all the momentum. They were moving that ball, the football.
And
But it's
And
mistakes about not
you
knowing
know,
your personnel, not
and I
knowing your.
did.
That's the only thing that costs them. Not knowing your personnel's got to be better than that.
Yeah.
and Jimmy G. Like I said, I told LaDon this last week. Jimmy G basically tried to give him the game with that interception.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, he's good for one. And lo and behold, he threw a terrible pass. And I was just like, that's the Jimmy I know. But I will say this. It's not all Dak's fault because CD Lamb didn't make any plays.
Yeah.
I think the only person that was actually making catches was y'all tight end.
Schultz.
Schultz
Schultz.
was
Yeah.
he was the only one catching the ball. I mean, Wilson had his moments, but that one play where where Dak just threw up a prayer, he was wide open. He just dropped it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, nobody. I mean, and then
No one was.
they
No
say
one was really there.
they said that Zeke played with an injury, but they always do that after the fact.
But he's
But
been hurt. But
but
his
if he was
stats
hurt,
prove it.
where was Pollard?
That's see, and that's what I keep trying to explain to people. They were like saying, "Why didn't we play Pollard?" Pollard has a torn plantar
See, I
fasciitis
didn't know that. I
tendon.
didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
he was
so
injured too.
that's why he was hurt. He has been hurt
Okay.
at the end of the season.
Okay.
So yeah, this
See, I
game
didn't even know
management.
he was injured.
So
I
somebody
didn't.
was like, "Well, he was 100%. He was doing. He did kickoffs, okay, but that doesn't mean he was 100% just because he was. I understand what a plantar fasciitis pain is. I have it in both feet, so to tear it is what you want to tear so it can heal.
And
But
then and
you're
then
not going to heal. But you're not going to heal in 3 weeks. So
and then
you're at
on top of that, if you're fielding kicks, all you gotta do is just need the ball. That's not nothing.
exactly.
That's nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. So my point is like if you're you can have it a tear in his knee and I'm pretty sure he dealt with it. He said he didn't have to need knee surgery, but that plantar fasciitis tear, I'm pretty sure I bet you any money Pollard is in way more pain
And
because
that's
he
what I
had a
said. That's why
full
because
tear. He had a
I didn't
full
see him not one. So basically, both the Cowboys running backs were limping. They were walking wounded men, right? Basically.
Yep. By the end of the
So
season, yep.
yeah. So okay. So I'll give them a pass because they both were hurt. But the Lamb, CD Lamb, Gallup was out, right? Gallup was out too.
Yep.
He was
That's why,
out.
I think, and that's going to hurt Gallup. He's a free agent. That's going to hurt. I think that's going to hurt his money.
Right. So I mean, Wilson, he made a couple plays, but like I said, that one pass he missed where he got behind the defense and he dropped it. I mean, yeah, granted they said that he was falling down, but if the ball hits you, I was always taught as a football player, if the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to catch it.
Yep.
And Lamb didn't make any plays. Cooper scored a touchdown, but he didn't really do anything after that. And I said it before, and I said it again. The 49ers, their defense, they have a great front seven, but their secondary is suspect. They will give up big plays. But the reason why they don't get tested is because they have a good front seven. But then on top of it, but the thing about it is the Niners lost both Bosa and Warner, two of their best players. Are you telling me the Cowboys couldn't capitalize off that?
We couldn't capitalize with the, people forget.
But what I'm saying is, they were down two of their best defensive players. They were down Bosa and Warner. Like Bosa went out. I guess he went out. I didn't see him because I caught the second half. I guess he went out with a concussion. He had a concussion, right? And then Warner sprained his ankle. They don't even know if both are coming back next week against Green Bay. And Warner, ankle injury could be tricky. I mean, you could only wrap it so tight for so long, but you got to cut and drive and all that stuff. That could put a lot on you. So it's like you're down two of your best players. You have one of the best offenses in football, and you telling me you couldn't capitalize?
This is the Cowboys defense that has always been there that no one saw.
Right.
Like everybody thinks that Cowboys defense was like spectacular. Yeah, it looked good on certain plays, but I keep, reiterating to people, Cowboys were 6 and yes, that
they're
opportunistic.
They're opportunistic. They're not a top tier defense, but they're very they remind me of the 09 Saints when they went on their run to the Super Bowl. Didn't have a great defense, but they were very opportunistic at creating turnovers and getting the ball back to their offense.
Yeah. And seeing like when, Diggs, he looks good when you got 11 interceptions, but then you have you giving over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. Like I like him, I do. But do I want to keep him? No, I really don't.
Honestly, y'all, just because of the fact that he's a ball hawk and he made plays, he's gonna stay.
He's gonna stay.
He's gonna stay.
Yeah, he's gonna stay. But yeah, do I want him? No. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if you're gonna ask me who do I want, I didn't want he looked, like I said, those 11 interceptions was great. Like what he was doing, he's almost broke a record for most interceptions in a season. It looks great. But then you look on the tail end of it, it was kind of like, it reminded me of Eating W when he threw 5,000 yards, but threw 30 interceptions. Like, it feels the same way.
You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. You take the good with the bad sometimes with a player like that. Like he's very opportunistic on trying to make the interception. He's not like what you consider a shutdown guy. He's more of like Asante Samuel. Like Asante Samuel Asante Samuel will get burned, but he'll make a play for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those things. Like you just take the good with the bad. High risk, high reward. Sometimes it works out where he makes a play. And then it doesn't work out, and he gives up a touchdown, or he gives up a big play. So it's just one of those things, like, it just happens, like, but they had a very opportunistic defense. It was just the fact of the matter is their defense didn't do much of nothing. And besides the Anthony Brown pick, but
nothing.
They didn't really do anything. And I was surprised because whenever you play a good defense, like whenever Jimmy Garoppolo plays a good defense, he doesn't really do too good. I mean, yeah, he did good against the Rams, but I expected the Cowboys to make it easy for him.
I agree with this team. I agree with this. It's gonna be very hard for him around contract time.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is, if the Cowboys don't give it to him, somebody's gonna give it to him. Yep. Somebody's gonna give him that big. Because trust me, he's gonna want to get paid like a top corner, and if Dallas don't give it to him, somebody's gonna give it to him, and that's just a part of the game. I mean, he makes great plays, but at the same time, he gives up plays. So
like I'm kind of glad he's still on rookie contract. Like no offense, but like We're
Yeah,
not
give him enough
coughing up.
time to work it out to see if he's
Yeah,
going to continue this trend. I get it.
exactly. Like we're not coughing up. And then the refs did not call up to New York to see if there was any time left. I don't know if that plays a factor in it. They just said we're done. Like they didn't check or anything. And Cowboys fans are sensitive.
Oh yeah. Facebook was just drowning with tears from Cowboys fans. Like it was funny and sad at the same time. Like
to see them cry that much at a game, I was like, they probably just crying because they spent all that money and it was a rent money
and
or
they thought
mortgage, and
they thought as always they always thought this was going to be their year. Like they thought it was going to be their year. So.
Well, this is probably the year that everybody thought they were thinking this was probably going to be the year if you were logical thinking because of contract money, not because of our not because of our record, but we're poor.
Mm-hmm.
We're already over the cap for next year. So this year needed to get done. If not, like I said, Galvin won't be back. I wouldn't be shocked if they cut my D-Law. Like I wouldn't be shocked. He costs a lot of money. Tyron Smith, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him too. Like cut these big contracts. Like there might be a Zeke cut. You have to look at these big, huge contracts and see like what is going to help us. And one of those people, all three of them, they're gonna go. Kilo said no lie. The fact that we didn't check the clock anyway is a bit weird. And coming from like they didn't check it. And it's like, I'm not saying they had to, but I thought that was just, like this is like what happened in the Saturday game. They didn't check with that flag and the whistle, and then that crew can't even perform they can't even work any more playoff games. So I don't know.
The Raiders game, they kicked them out.
Yeah, they kicked them out. So I don't know if it's going to happen to this crew too. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even check. Like they admitted, like we didn't even check. And I expected Stephen A. Smith to clown him.
If you watch Undisputed, Skip was not happy. Shannon was in his ass.
Yeah, like I don't watch none of them. Like somebody commented on one of my posts and was like, "Don't go watching." I was like, "I don't watch none of them." I was like, "If y'all know me, then y'all should know. Like, I am not a Stephen A. Smith fan. Like, not.
I do watch Uncle Shay though. Uncle Shay, he's probably the only one that keeps it somewhat open.
Yeah.
But
I just don't like his counterpart.
Yeah, I will say this though. From a Falcons fan perspective, this was a funny game to me because the head coach of the 49ers was my old offensive coordinator, and then Cowboys defensive coordinator was our head coach. And somebody on Twitter came up with the perfect analogy. They said that Kyle Shanahan's trying to blow the game, but Dan Quinn would refuse to let him do it. And I laughed so hard because it is true.
Yep.
As a Falcons fan, it is true. It is very true because if you go back to what happened in that Super Bowl against Phil's Patriots, where my team was pretty much unstoppable for one half, and then we all know what happened after that. It was just like, and then we saw what happened when he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl and he had a 10-point lead and he did it again. That was funny because remember the Jimmy G interception, and then the Cowboys scored, and then it was just going back and forth. Like it was like a game of hot potato. Like I don't want to win it, you won't win it. No, I want you to win. I want you to win it. And as a Falcons fan, that put it in perspective for me because that was so funny because it's true. It really is. Kyle Shanahan, as great as offensive mind he is, his dad was a great offensive coach. He has a tendency to be arrogant and he overcompensates for that. You saw it in the Super Bowl. You saw it in the past two Super Bowls he was in. He blew a couple leads as a head coach. I think they was calling for his head a couple years ago. They was calling for him to be fired, and lo and behold, his team's in the playoffs. And Dan Quinn, his whole thing ever since that Super Bowl, he hasn't really been a good head coach. So, and now they're
people like Cowboys fans want McCarthy gone.
Oh yeah,
and Quinn
to be the head coach. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. I'm
not feeling that.
Don't you do it. Don't you?
I think we'll be in the same situation. I think we'll be in the same situation.
Don't you do it.
Yeah, I think we'll be in the same situation that we're in now.
Right. Don't you do it, because I'm telling you, you'll be heartache and disappointment. Don't get me wrong. I will say this. Don't get me wrong. I would love for every coordinator to at least try to be a head coach, but there are some coaches out there or some coordinators that should just be exactly that. Not everybody is made out to be a head coach. I'm sorry to say that.
I agree. Guys, I feel like Lovie Smith is a perfect example of that. I loved Lovie as
honestly, Lovie
as a defensive.
Lovie was a good head coach. It's just Chicago they fired him too quickly. Because I think when they fired him, he had a 10-win season, and they fired him. So it's just like, it's just like some people like Wade Phillips, great defensive mind, great defensive coordinator, terrible head coach.
Yep,
not a good head coach. So some coaches just need to be coordinators. So you know what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Now, if a coordinator gets a chance to be a head coach, do it, experience it. But that's just my opinion. I think some coordinators should just be coordinators.
Yeah.
So, but that was just my perspective, because I was laughing about that, because as I was watching the game, I was like, it's like I'm watching the Falcons.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was very Cowboy way to lose.
Yeah.
Like I said, hats off to the Niners. I expected y'all to win.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys solely because I said I trust Dak more than I trust Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy will always give you a chance to win the game, whether it's a turnover or crucial turnover. I trust, because Dak was playing. Everybody was talking about Dak being the dark horse MVP, the way he was playing. So that's why I picked Dallas to win, solely because of the quarterback position.
Yeah, he was playing he wasn't playing that great. And then like I said, I just don't. That whole team is just.
I get it.
Undisciplined. 14.
Y'all was the most penalized team in the league, right?
We were the most penalized, and my mom was like, I didn't know that. I said, I could have told you that. Most penalized. We weren't going to win just based off that. If you paid attention, don't look at the schedule. Don't look at the record. Look at what actually your Cowboys fans. Look what actually your team does. 14 penalties. 14, the most penalties in a playoff game. So that alone, right there. You have to, moving on to next season. That's why it's like part of me wants Dan Quinn to stay as a defensive coordinator, because of our defense. Like I said, it did look better. It looks better than what we've had.
Y'all actually got playmakers on y'all. Like I said, Michael Parsons is going to be a beast.
Yeah, Mike is a generational talent.
He's going to be a beast. Van Der Esch, who's overcome so much, made a hell of a tackle on Debo to cause y'all to get the ball back.
But he's a free agent.
He's a free agent. But what I'm saying is, like, y'all had some playmakers. Like I said before, the Cowboys don't have a good defense. I'm saying they don't have a good defense. But they're very opportunistic at making it what I call impact plays: sacks, turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, whatever. They had that. It's just that when it came time for them to perform, they didn't.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Cowboys do, and they have been doing for years. We're gonna move on. Yeah, I already do. Like, we've been in the same boat, paddling the same direction. You know what? One game pissed me off. Phil's game pissed me off, because I actually picked the Patriots, because I was like, I like the Bills. I like the Bills.
I,
Don't get me wrong. I like the
Can I
Patriots.
say,
I don't know why you picked the Patriots.
can I say,
Because
I told you they weren't winning.
can I say something? Can I say something before Phil goes? I did not know Mac Jones' real first name was McCorkle.
what?
His real name is McCorkle Jones.
Yeah, we ain't gonna never
No
go with a name
wonder,
like that.
no wonder he going by Mac.
That's
Yeah,
what
it makes sense.
somebody said it on in the Hodgepodge group. They said, why are they using his government name? Somebody said McCorkle. I had to actually go Google it, and his name is McCorkle Mac Jones.
Well, as I
It's
said,
like what it is like a Lorraine Dakota, you know.
I don't know.
I knew they weren't gonna win. I don't know why. What made you think that? The
Because
defense was
Bill
nice
Belichick.
throughout the season, but I mean, the offense is it struggled.
So my question to you is this, Phil. What I mean, don't get me wrong. We all know the Bills, you know, Josh Allen ahead. But what was the offense lacking? What was the offense lacking that game?
The offense was lacking leadership,
Okay.
and that's something you can't teach.
Okay.
You can't teach that. So you miss a veteran presence. I don't need to say the name.
We know what you're talking about.
So when things get like that, and this is what I told everybody, you'll begin to miss him, and you'll begin to appreciate what he did for New England, because you're not going to have the same thing right away. There's not going to be that instant success. So I knew it. I just need everybody to see that. But I knew they weren't going to win that game. And I also told LaDon, I said, the only way we win, the Bills have to play horrible, and we can't turn the ball over.
Right.
And neither happened.
They was out there playing Super Bowl.
Excuse me. The Bills playing bad didn't happen, and we turned the ball over quite a bit. And I think he had 2-3 interceptions on the night. We can't win that way.
He had 2. Yeah, he had 2
cannot
picks.
win that way.
Yeah.
And I've said it once before. We can't win that way. So when that score started to pile up, as I saw it, I was like, yeah. I was like, sometimes you gotta know you gotta know when your team is just dead in the water. And I knew they were dead in the water. I knew this would happen.
Right.
It was not how they
I
played
didn't
throughout the
expect this.
season.
Okay. His name is not McCorkle is his middle name. It's Michael McCorkle Mac Jones. I just checked. It's Michael McCorkle Mac Jones.
But still, McCorkle, I don't care what McCorkle, shouldn't even be in your name. We're just gonna start there.
But I will say this about that game. I did not expect Buffalo to come out like that. Like
Exactly.
And we all know Bill Belichick. We all know his preparation, his experience. He's a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach. We all know the Patriot way. So I was like LD. I was like Buffalo. I mean, New England's gonna come in. They're on the road. They played this team before. I'm like, this is what Bill Belichick, this is what he does. He finds a way to win. And when it was 27-3 at half, I was like, oh, okay. You know,
Yeah.
I was just sitting there, and then I looked at the score and it kept going up, and then it was like 47-10. I was like, am I watching real life tech football? Because the Bills scored touchdowns on all their drives. It was like watching tech football in real life.
When I saw them rolling in, like as a team, I was like, oh, they out there just having fun. Like they just rolling. Like the big guy literally rolled in the end zone. I don't know if y'all caught that. Like he rolled. I'm like, yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked. Now, I mean, if the Patriots would have lost, cool, but the way they lost, I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie. I was shocked.
Hey, like I said, that veteran leadership, not turning that ball over, that was missed. And don't get me wrong, he's a rookie quarterback. I don't know what everybody expects from him so early in the season. He's still learning. He's still getting accustomed to how they do things. So give him time. He's shown spurts where you see him and you're like, hey, this kid is going to be very good. And you just got to give it time. But I knew they weren't winning.
Like he played terrible the last 4 games, including versus the Bills.
But he won.
So, yeah, but
So they ran
that's
the ball.
because the defense.
But they ran the ball.
And they ran the ball.
They
Which
ran
is
the
the
ball
best.
and the defense came through. And one thing about it was this: I'm not taking anything away from Buffalo, but New England's defense did not show up. That was not a Bill Belichick-esque type defense that I saw that night. I don't know what was going on, but that wasn't a Bill Belichick defense. They could not stop anything. They couldn't. The Bills aren't known for really running the ball, but they got what they wanted. They did what they wanted, and that's not characteristic of a New England Patriots football defensive team. That's not something I'm used to seeing. However, the Bills played terrific. I can't take anything away from them, but I really think a more seasoned Mac Jones don't make those throws he made either. Now, he showed you in that game, I'm still a rookie. This is just my first year.
Right.
So he showed you he was a rookie in that game. That's the wrong time to show everyone you're a rookie, but he showed everyone, hey, I'm still a rookie and I'm still learning. I am shocked at how much they lost by, but I'm not shocked at the result of them losing.
It was the amount. It was the amount, and the reason, like I said, it was the same weather situation from the previous game. I feel like Josh Allen is a hit or miss too. Like I like Josh Allen, but there's games he looks fantabulous, and then there's games he looks like
every quarterback has their bad.
But he's been having, like, I swear, I feel like he has more than anybody.
Well, I think
it's because he's been on a pedestal. It's probably that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because they have,
and the fact that Buffalo has finally got a stable quarterback since Jim Kelly.
Yes, yeah. So that's why it looks more. And so, but yeah, I like both of them. I didn't think if New England won, they weren't going to make it around the next round. But this Buffalo team versus Kansas City, like, I really feel like this is the game that Kansas City needs to be worried about.
Well, they did. I mean, Buffalo beat them in Kansas City, so
yeah, this is
Kansas City needs to worry about everything and anybody that they face lately. Let me tell you something. This team used to strike fear in people. No one's scared of Kansas City anymore.
Nobody.
No one is scared of Kansas City anymore. So at some point in time, yes, they played fairly. They played well, and everybody's like, "Oh, look who you played in the last several games. You didn't play too much of anybody who was worthwhile." So now you're getting ready to play a Buffalo's defense that is pretty solid. You're going against a quarterback who can throw the ball. He can make plays for you. Doesn't turn the ball over as much. We're about to see what they can do because their defense is still bad.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
it's
not good by far.
But I will say this. Real
quick. I was going to say your team led the way of how to start attacking Mahomes from last season. And I'm saying your team, because your team was probably your team led the way, and people just started slowly, like, doing more and more and more. And this season, because it's just a follow me game, so more and more. But yeah, that's what I was just coming with.
Well, one thing I'm gonna say is that the Chiefs are still the class of the AFC, but the gap is closing. Like, it's not as wide as it was, say, a couple years ago, where it was just the Chiefs and everybody else. You still got Buffalo, you still got the Titans, you still have, and nobody's talking about this team, but they can be dangerous if they stay how they played. Nobody's talking about Cincinnati.
Exactly.
That Burrow and Jamar Chase has proven to everybody that he could be a top tier receiver in this league. No, and their defense is very underrated. Like, I saw them play against, they're a very underrated defense. Nobody's talking about Cincinnati. I think me personally, I think they can sneak their way into the AFC Championship game against whoever wins out of Buffalo and Kansas City.
I said
I'm
that
not
to my
saying
mom.
I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just
I
saying
said
they
it to
can.
my mom.
Yeah, I'm saying they can sneak their way into the AFC Championship game because Burrow is finally becoming one of those young quarter. We always talk about Mahomes. We always talk about Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and rightfully so. But nobody's talking about how Joe Burrow has had a quiet, good season. He threw for 34 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, only 14 picks. And Jamar Chase, my goodness, man, everybody talked about his struggles in the preseason. Everybody talked about how he is not going to be a good receiver in the NFL. And he made some
comment.
Right. Like he broke these records. He broke mostly all the receiving records. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I know everybody talks about the Bills and the Chiefs, rightfully so, and the Titans, rightfully. But I'm gonna go ahead and make a bold prediction. I think if Cincinnati played like they did against the Raiders, I think they upset Tennessee. I think they beat Tennessee and go to the AFC Championship game.
I'm rooting for the Bengals.
I think they will. I think they will go.
Bengals. I don't know why everybody's so shocked.
Go ahead, Phil.
They're young, but when I say they were it's scary how complete the team is to be so young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a complete team. That's one of the few complete teams that you see where they can beat you a plethora of ways. Either their defense can beat you, or their offense can beat you. Given the night, given the circumstances, that is something that you don't see often.
Right.
They're just young, so them getting it together, I'm happy for them because Lord knows they've
been through a lot.
Seems like they're gonna be good, and then
this was their first playoff win in 31 years. 1991 was their last playoff win, and they said the first text came out in 1992. So that's how long it's been.
Correct. So it's refreshing to see. You have to see a Cinderella team in there. It's good to see. However, the Titans is another team that I think is just complete all the way around.
And Henry's coming back. He's playing Sunday.
And there was so many doggone reports that he was done for the season. He wasn't coming back. Wasn't going to make it back. And now you got to deal with that monster. And you can say, oh, he's hurt, though. You don't know how he's going to play. That's one person I'm not worried about. That is one person I'm not.
I would say you better hope his foot's cut off. Like, just to slow him down just a little bit.
But I will say that.
Just separate, not the whole knee. It needs to look like a nub. Like that's what you
need. Exactly. Like seriously, that's the only way.
But I will say this. Yes, we know what Derrick Henry could do, but Derrick Henry can be slowed down. My question is, can that secondary go against the receivers? We all talk about Jamar Chase, and rightfully so. But nobody talks about Taj Boyd as a legit number 2 guy who could catch the balls as well. We know the Titans front 7 is pretty solid, but that secondary is pretty suspect. And can they hold up? I'm saying, I know we all talk about the Bengals offensive line and Burrow gets hit a lot. That's rightfully so. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if that Bengals offensive line can hold up to that front 7, and you got guys like Chase and Boyd running wild and catching these bad passes, it's going to be a long day for the Titans. And like I said, and I'm going to say it again, and if they lose, I'll come back next week and eat crow. But I think the Bengals will beat the Titans Saturday or Sunday, whenever they play. The Bengals will upset the Titans.
I agree. Brian thinks Henry is one step away or stepping on someone, planted the wrong way from being on the sidelines. I hope you're wrong, just because I do like the guy.
I like Derrick Henry. He's to me, he's the best running back in the league. To me, he's the best running back in the league.
Of course, I don't like him still for this day because of what he did to my Missouri. But that's You know,
he did that
when
to
he
a
was
lot of. He did that to a lot.
yeah,
He did that to
but
Georgia.
it was just the playoffs. It was the playoff game. It was just the
Oh,
first when we got into SEC,
oh
and it was
yeah.
Gary Pink. Yeah, he did us. Oh, so ugly.
And then on top of
Um,
that, we don't know which Tannehill's going to show up. Is it going to be the guy that throws 4 touchdowns or the guy that throws 3 interceptions?
exactly.
So
And but like I said, if everybody thinks of Jamar Chase, but like you said, you have Boyd,
Taj Boyd is
and
a
then you
beast.
have and like I said, and you have Higgins. And then your wide
Oh, yeah,
receivers.
T.
I mean,
Higgins.
your yeah, and then your tight ends.
And then Joe Mixon. He's a great. Everybody talks about Derrick Henry, but Joe Mixon is a pretty decent running back too.
Yeah, and like I didn't see Joe Mixon doing what he's doing, and like only reason I say that is because of injury, not because of he has been legit since he's came into the league, but
Mhm.
he's always been hurt
But I,
almost every year. Sitting at least 2 or 3 games. So this year has probably been his healthiest out of his career.
let me make an omission. Taj Boyd. That's what it was. T. Higgins. I kept calling him Taj Boyd but it's T. Higgins and the tight end. So and then Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I said, we always talk about the Titans and their playmakers. Cincinnati got some playmakers too, and like Phil said, they're a young team.
Yep.
They're up and coming. They won the division. They swept Baltimore, beat Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Like if they could just
and they could grow together. You
and they
don't
can grow together.
understand. This team can grow together.
But as always, you know how it goes. When it comes to contract times, people gonna get their money. So you never know if they can stay together because of the salary cap and who can they keep and all that stuff. But right now, I think they're a great up and coming young team. And I think they have the weapons and the tools to beat Tennessee.
Yeah. I think I don't know if Tennessee can stop that. I call it a 3-headed monster, and that's not because of the running back. That's this your wide. That's just your wide receiver. That's just your wide receiver and tight end core. I don't see them. I don't know if anybody can stop one of them.
I don't see nobody on that secondary that can hold it unless they do like a bracket coverage. I don't see nobody holding Jamar Chase 1-on-1 on that secondary.
So and I still feel like I need some compensation. Even though I won my fantasy football, I was a victim of Jamar Chase and that 269 yard.
269 yards catch. If he has a game like that against Tennessee, you might as well go ahead and punch that ticket to the AFC title game.
Yeah, but I was a victim. I need to go to fantasy football, get some compensation. Like I said, I won. But that was only because Tom Brady played lights out that game. But if Tom Brady didn't play lights out that game, I would have lost. I would have completely lost.
Like I said, everybody like him and Justin Jefferson, like everybody.
She had Justin Jefferson.
Everybody lost. Right. Everybody talks about LSU being DBU, but shoot, you might as well change the name to wide receiver. The way Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase is playing.
Yeah, we were both but we were all. It was horrible. She had Nikki. I don't know how you had this beautiful lineup. Nikki had Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, and Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill.
That's a cream of the crop. All he needed was Cooper Kupp, and he would have the.
It was Nikki from David Show. Nikki.
He would have parallelogram.
No, it was Nikki and Nicole. It was from Damien's third. Is it 3rd and 3? Yeah, 3rd and 3 podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's her. And somehow the only 2 females in fantasy got to the final championship, which I loved. It was only 2 of us. But yeah, I guess because there was only 10 of us, and because there wasn't really running backs, she went heavy on her wide receiver core. And when I tell you they showed up for her at the end, they showed up because, like I said, I wasn't looking good, but I won by the skin of my teeth, and it was because of Tom Brady and my other and Patrick Mahomes.
Jesus Christ. Thomas Brady does it again.
Yep, he's won at least four of
I would say,
my championships for me.
I would say, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, I think Tom Brady would be the MVP this year. If it wasn't for
I
Aaron
still
Rodgers,
think he should be MVP. A 44-year-old putting up numbers like that, I
Mhm.
still think he should be MVP. But
Yeah. But I think Rodgers is gonna get.
Rodgers.
They're gonna give it to Rodgers, or they can make him co MVPs. They did it before. They made co MVPs before. When
I don't see
Madden
as
and Manning and McNair won it one year. They both was co MVPs, so it could happen.
It could.
I can't put one. I can't put one over the other. I think Tom deserves. I'm looking at the age.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Right.
Unheard of.
He threw
So
his age in touchdowns.
and at the and through the most yardage.
So the
of
most yardage, yeah.
5,300 and something yards at the age of 44.
Mhm.
That's
What, 40,
outrageous.
43 touchdowns, 47 touchdowns?
45 touchdowns, 45 touchdowns.
That is unheard. 11 interceptions. That is unheard of for 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That man is I call him the ageless wonder. And I just keep calling him that. The ageless wonder.
I think he's the only one that I think he figured how to beat Father Time.
Like I'm telling you, I just need wherever he goes, a fountain of youth, or the tequila he drinks, because I know his favorite drink is tequila. I need to know the brand. You know, I'm not even a tequila.
We got
I will say this. I think, me personally, the way he's played, I think they could be co MVPs. I think both of them could be literally. They both can win it.
I'm gonna say this. I hope if he did find the fountain of youth, we need to get to him quick and ask him how and where, because we don't want another. Let me tell you something. If you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, you remember Master Roshi found the fountain of youth,
right?
But he got so old that he forgot where it was. I don't want that to be the case for us. That Tom gets so old he can't remember where it is.
Right.
Yeah,
but man, I can't.
I just want a sip.
I can't hate on the guy. I can't hate on the guy. Like I said, it to me, I always said that. You know, to me personally, I think Dan Marino's the GOAT to me because the way he revolutionized the quarterback position from a passing standpoint. But you can't deny what TB12 has done for the league and what he's done in his career. I mean, that man has played at 10 Super Bowls and won 7. And if it wasn't for Eli Manning twice and Nick Foles, he'll be a perfect 10. Like that's unprecedented. Like, and I know we talked about who's going to be the next Tom Brady. And we always prop Mahomes up there. And I've said it before. I think Mahomes has the tendency to surpass Brady when it's all said and done. But he's got a long way to go to get to that point because, I mean, somebody even said it themselves. They said they should just rename the Super Bowl the Tom Brady Invitational.
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Somebody told me today, we're like, we better. I don't want to see Tom Brady. Hold on, Tariq. I am doing a show.
I will say this though. I will say this. This is my thing. And this is what me, you, and Phil talked about this before, and even your husband when he was on. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, the questions will get really, really loud if he doesn't win it this year.
Oh, no, they're loud for me. They're already loud for me.
No, I know they're loud for you, but they're going to be they're going to be a lot more louder.
Like loud, like it's going to be
loud, like jet engine loud.
Yeah.
So, what is that saying? To beat a man, you got to beat the man. I remember that was said.
Yeah.
Well, this is your chance to beat the man again this time because you didn't do it last time.
Right, and you got the number 1 seed again,
and you're going to be back home.
And
are you going to beat the man this time, or is the man going to show you up yet again?
So they play the Niners.
They're playing the Niners. I got
Saturday night.
Let me tell you something. That's a scary matchup for them. That's a scary matchup for them.
But I will say this: I think Aaron Rodgers will win it out, and he will get his showdown with Tom. And as much, even though I picked the Rams to go all the way to the Super Bowl, I'm not quite sure they can. They're going on the road and they're playing Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, we know there are three people I don't bet on, and there's three people I don't bet against when the lights get bright. I don't bet against Tom Brady. I don't bet against LeBron James. I don't bet against Floyd Mayweather. When they're in the playoffs, I don't bet against those guys because they always find a way to get there. Even if they don't win it, they find a way to get to the championship. So, as much as I said, I mean, I'm gonna stick by it. I think the Rams would. I'm gonna say the Rams are gonna beat Tampa Bay because I picked them, and I'm gonna stick with them. But you can never go against terrific Tom in the playoffs. He always seems to find a way.
And they're about to get Leonard Fournette back.
And they about to get Leonard Fournette back. Mike Evans is back. I mean, it sucks. It sucks they're missing Godwin with the injury, but they're more than capable to win. But I will say this: with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, they're both facing some pretty good defenses this weekend. That's all I'm saying. They're both facing pretty good defenses.
I think if Ron,
excuse me,
bless you. I think if Ron wins, I think this is it. I think he retires. Adams is a free agent after this season, and I can see him, just be like, he's not coming back. His other half is not, more likely probably not coming back, because he doesn't want to play without, Aaron. Aaron doesn't want to play without him. I can see them. I could see it happening. Rams and Buccaneers. Again, it's going to be another good game. We saw what the Rams did to the Buccaneers the first time, but like you said, we've all said, like, it's Tom. Like, I'm not saying the Rams don't have a chance, because obviously they have a chance because they beat them early in the season. But we've always said it's hard to beat a same team twice. And it's very hard to beat a Tom Brady when he's getting weapons back.
And the fact that he's in the playoffs, like Tom Brady in the playoffs is like Michael Jordan in the playoffs. Like,
like
if you beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, you got to play like A1 ball.
Like this Vaughn, like Keyshawn Vaughn, is that his name? Is it Vaughn? Is it Keyshawn Vaughn who his running back was this weekend? That I had no idea who he was or forgot who he was. I think it was Vaughn that played, and that's who he made him just look like a stud. And I'm not saying he is horrible. It just
that's what great quarterbacks do. Great quarterbacks bring, like I said, like you can get a guy off the street. If you're a great quarterback, you can get a guy off the street and make him good. Like that's what great quarterbacks do. That's what Hall of Fame quarterbacks do. So I mean. That's what separates guys from like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That's what separates them from everybody else.
Keyshawn Vaughn from Vandy. He that game, he 53 yards, 1 touchdown. His average was about 4.5, but it's like I said, this. No one knew. Running back, no one knew. You know what I'm saying? Even though 53 yards doesn't seem a lot, no one knew the kid. And for him to do that, Mike Evans to have 117 yards.
That's what Gronkowski did.
Bernard, that's his other favorite secret target is Bernard. When
you're a great quarterback, that's what you do.
Yeah, and so having Bernard come back was actually probably bigger than anything because he was hurt for a little bit. So having Bernard back, and then you're going to have Leonard Fournette back, and then you might probably still have Vaughn as your third running back, but then Mike Evans showed up, and then everybody else was just kind of here and there. But for them to, like I said, to get it, and that defense, even though it's still not 100%, that defense still can't be slept on either.
Barrett came back, so Barrett, that's good. That's a big deal because he was a sack lead, so he's back. So, But go ahead, Phil. I know you want to say something.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually want to pick against the Bucs. I want to. but I can't. And it's not just because Tom Brady. Are we forgetting that Matthew Stafford is their quarterback?
Yeah.
How much playoff experience has he had?
Well, before
He's
the Cardinals game, when he was with Detroit, that loss against Dallas, I think that was his last playoff game
yeah.
against Dallas.
And
Oh
how
no,
many
no wait,
seasons?
no wait. New Orleans too when he played the Saints. He played the Saints. So he's got before last night. He had two playoff games. He lost both of them though.
Yeah.
That ain't enough experience. We're talking about someone who stays in the playoffs, who breathes the playoffs, who breathes championship games.
I mean,
I
you
can't.
can't really say that because Patrick Mahomes had no playoff experience
Okay, and that's true,
and
but that's
eased through
Patrick
it.
Mahomes too. Are we actually going to put Patrick Mahomes at the same level as Matthew Stafford? I don't think so.
I'm just saying, I can't knock out Matthew Stafford because like Matthew Stafford has weapons, and I liked Matthew Stafford in Detroit, but he didn't have the weapons after Calvin Johnson left. He didn't have the weapons like everybody wants to say he had. Name a decent wide receiver since Calvin left.
Kenny Galladay.
Shut up. You go to timeout for 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Put that out there because
Turn your chair around.
I know Brian is listening. Yeah,
Yeah. Turn your
but
chair around.
I will say this before we go on. I want to put this little tidbit in there. Odell was not the reason that it didn't work out in Cleveland. It wasn't Odell's fault. But continue. I just wanted to put that out there.
Definitely.
I just wanted to put that out.
At Seattle.
Playing wise, no. On the field play, no, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
But he
Seattle too. Yeah, Seattle.
It's not his fault, no. But how he carried himself with that organization sometime, yeah, you can see why you can say
He
yeah,
could be
it's
a
his
bit
fault.
of a drama queen. That's true. He could be a little bit of a drama queen. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But,
but I don't think playing wise it was never his fault.
Never.
Yeah.
I've always say Baker Mayfield shows spurts of where he can be solid.
Yeah.
Mr. Steal your check. But he should never went to Cleveland in the first place. But that's a whole nother conversation. I just don't think
between Baker Mayfield and Kenny Galladay, we'll have a whole nother show.
and like I said, and the trade and Odell's trade too. That should never happen. That trade was horrible. Like
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when the Vikings sent Randy Moss to the Raiders. He had an underwhelming season, and then he goes to the Patriots and he balls out. I'm not saying that Odell is Randy Moss. I'm saying that he got to.
It's starting to look like it.
Right, he got to LA and he's balling out. Like everybody knows Cooper Kupp is the heart and soul of that wide receiver group. But it's not a bad idea to have, Odell Beckham. But then on top of that, they're missing their second best receiver in Robert Woods. Now, if Woods was there, it'd be, you got Woods, Odell, and Cooper Kupp. Like, come on.
And then, like I said, and their tight end is Higbee, and their tight end's not shabby.
And then they just got Cam Akers back. I mean, Cam Akers was a piece before he got hurt. He just came back.
Yeah.
So, but I will say this. I said the Rams have a shot at beating Green Bay, but I think Green Bay will – I will say this. They will beat the Rams, but it'll be I don't know. I picked the Rams. I'm conflicted, honestly. I think the Rams can beat Green Bay, but –
well, the Rams play the Buccaneers, so the Niners play the Packers.
Oh, the Niners. The Niners will beat the Packers. I think the Rams can beat the Bucs, but I put Stafford in that same category as Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a good quarterback. He's got an arm. He can throw touchdowns, but every now and then he will give you a crucial turnover. He'll try to give the game away because he'll throw a crucial pass, a bad pass, and it'll be a turnover.
Oh, yeah, and I know why he got traded, but that don't mean he should have been traded. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to trade your best player?
Well,
your best.
Right now, at this point, I think that Odell got the better end of the deal because the Giants are grade A juice.
Oh, yeah, now that, definitely.
They're terrible.
Look at it. But at that time, they were starting to become terrible. And I think, but it was you were you should have built like to me, you should have just built around him. But I know several Giants fans. We know one. She was ready for him to go.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, I know what you're
know,
talking about.
yeah, she was ready. If you bring up his name around her, but then I have others that still love him. Freddie is one of them. He still has love for OBJ. I just didn't like OBJ because he was a Giant. I didn't like OBJ because of his diva-ness. Um, and but as a player, like an overall player, I give him his props. Like he's Odell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you're gonna, kick the flagpole or whatever the goalpost,
Fight the goalpost
not
and all that stuff.
do all that. That's you don't need to do all that. Like you already said enough. You've already done enough because you still are the man that went on a coked out cruise during the playoffs, and your team has been cursed ever since. Ever since that boat picture, ever since that boat picture.
Yep.
Um, so like I said, I get why but they should have never did it. But like Ricky, like y'all said, yes, the Giants are worse. The Dolphins.
The Giants are. I think the Giants are right in there with the Lions and the Jaguars as far as the dumpster fire.
Yeah, and then
And I
keep in
think the
mind
only
the
thing I
same
think
Giants ownerships and manager was going to keep Joe as a coach and pay Kenny Galladay like he was going to come in and put up To or Rice numbers. Yeah, if only reason Joe got fired was because of that stupid quarterback sneak. If it wasn't for that quarterback
you know
sneak,
what? You know what? Honestly, I thought the Dallas Cowboys quarterback draw was bad, but that was the worst. And the reason why he said it was because he didn't trust the offense. If you can't trust the offense, you shouldn't be a head coach, sir.
and then that's the reason why he got fired. That is the
You know what?
reason.
Just stick with special teams. Just stick with special teams. Like I said, some coordinators are paid to be exactly what
Hey,
they
can I have
are,
a cookie?
coordinators. They're not not everybody can be a head coach. It's you got to be a special kind of person to be a head coach because you got to deal with 53 players, 53 grown men. You got to scheme. You got to scheme. You got to plan. You got to execute. You got to get your players in position to win games. And some people are not cut out for that. They're not. And so and it's perfectly cool to just be a coordinator. Like me personally, I would never want to be a head coach. If I were defensive coordinator, me personally, I love defense. That's what I would do. I wouldn't want to be a head coach. I'd be stressed out. I drink a half a bottle of Pepto a day. You know what? How much I would drink as a head coach? Probably like 10.
I need you
So,
to go to the doctor, sir, if you're drinking that much Pepto.
well, because I eat a lot of spicy food, so stomach sensitive. Matter of fact, I'm about to eat the spicy Popeyes I got after I get off here. I'm gonna eat that spicy Popeyes 2 piece I got.
Yeah.
Hey man, they ain't got
Oh,
no
that
Popeyes.
chicken for
They ain't
Popeyes.
got no. They ain't got no Popeyes out here in Maricopa, so I had to get some when I went down to Silver. So I got me like the 10 piece with the red beans and rice and macaroni and cheese. So
You sound like me.
hey man,
Now you understand my struggle.
gotta do what you gotta do, man. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some people just not cut out to be a head coach, but it is what it is. Like, there's gonna be some interesting games. Like, I want the Rams to win because I picked them, but I won't be surprised if Tampa Bay keeps doing what they're doing. And then I think the Packers will beat the Niners solely because Jimmy Garoppolo has been known to give the game away. So I'm definitely going to roll with the Packers on that one. And then on the AFC side, I'm taking the Chiefs barely. I think the Chiefs will win by a touchdown, and I think Cincinnati, like I said, they're my hot take. I think Cincinnati upsets Tennessee by 10 points.
How
He was about to go off too. I'm ready for Phil. Phil. Yeah.
about to say something, and then he cut out.
Mm-hmm. I can tell it's gonna be good.
I'm almost close to saying we're going to get a rematch of the Super Bowl. I'm
7-17.
almost certain. I'm almost certain that that's what's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
However, for some odd reason, I don't like. I like the Bucks' chance of getting back more than I like the Chiefs' chance of getting back.
Mm-hmm.
Both, all the teams that we've named are flawed. They have flaws. All
Yeah.
teams have flaws. We know that.
There's
But
no
there
team
are teams that can mask their flaws by the
right,
exceptional gameplay that they do.
right.
The Bucks are one. The Bengals are one. Tennessee is one as well.
Right.
No one's afraid of Kansas City anymore.
Well, but I will say this. I will say this. All those teams that are left, they all got one thing that a lot of teams don't have. All those teams have good head coaches. Andy Reid's a good head coach. LaFleur's a good head coach. Vrabel's a good head coach. Shanahan, as much as I want to punch him in the face, he's a good coach. Bruce Arians, even though I think he screwed Antonio. In my opinion, I think he screwed over AB. But AB had his foot in the grave already. He's a good coach. McVay, even though he has his moments, he's a great offensive mind. All these teams that are left in the playoffs have good coaching. So it's just going to come down. It all comes down to who can execute their game plan more to win the game.
Correct. Now I don't want to jump off subject,
Well, go ahead.
but for the first time, I'm going to disagree with you there. Bruce Arians didn't screw Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown screwed Antonio Brown.
That's why I said. That's why I said that he had one foot in the grave already. So I can't put the whole blame on Arians, but at the same time, if a man said he's hurt and he can't play, and you try to put him out there, you can't. You're wrong for doing that. But at the same time, we know this is Antonio Brown's MO, and this is how he is. So I can't. They both get a slice of the donkey.
Okay, so
Yeah.
have you see you say that? Have you heard what Michelle McCoy said publicly?
I didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
That the reason why AP left was because they screwed him and wouldn't give him the ball so he can meet his incentives. So is it because you are hurt, or was it your incentives?
But my question is this though: they was trying to get him in the game to get his incentives, and he said he couldn't play. So I mean, was there a miscommunication between them to say that he wasn't hurt or he was hurt? I mean, like they was trying to get him in the game to get his incentives. So was it a miscommunication amongst Arians and Brown?
That's Brown. I'm sorry, and I told people before. I like him. I like the guy can play. The guy can play.
Yeah.
But mentally, he is disturbed, and he needs a mental evaluation. He needs help.
Definitely help. I agree with that. Help.
If you telling me you hurt, the stuff that you were doing when you took those pads off, you didn't display anything of being hurt. You didn't display anything of being hurt.
Yeah, he was skipping along that goal line and stuff.
I have a hard time believing that you were actually injured. This kid, that man needs help. Yeah. And Tom Brady said it best. He needs help. We were talking about it, but if you care, we got to get him some help. They said Tom said it best, and a lot of us have said it as well. He needs help. He needs professional help because there's something wrong.
Yeah, but it's up to him though. We all say he needs help, but it's up to him to make the first step.
Of course. The first step is he needs to admit that he has a problem.
Right. People can't make that for him. And I agree with what Brian said. He said both of them are at fault on different levels.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like both of them deserve a shoulder. It's not just one person. It's not just one person gets all the blame. They all get a share of the shit sandwich. Maybe AB gets more of the shit sandwich than everybody else, but he's not eating it by himself. That's for sure.
Oh, I agree. Because at first I was like, okay, what is AB doing? Just like everybody else.
I was shocked.
I was shocked. And I was like, what? And then because the first notification I got was AB just walked out of the game.
Right, and the way he did,
like, what? And then I got a notification. He just threw his jersey like he refused to go back in the game. Like you're hearing all this stuff. So
Right. Like
then
it was just
it was
and,
just weird. It was just whole weird. But my whole thing is AB. Whatever happened on the field or didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? You hurt, not hurt, whatever happened. There's sometimes that you just need to shut up at the end. And you over here trying to compare your relationship with Tom Brady, like him and Gronk.
that's not that's not your business. It's not your business.
And I'm pretty sure Tom Brady stuck his neck out for you several times. Because if it wasn't for Tom Brady, I don't even think you would have been on the Bucks to begin with.
I don't think he'd have been playing for another team, period.
Period.
Then Tom Brady let him stay at his house when he was playing with
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, so you over here trying to throw Tom Brady under the bus when Tom Brady didn't throw you under the bus. I can understand you coming after Tom Brady if that press conference said Tom Brady said something like, AB did what he did and that's his fault. And you know what? This is how no, Tom Brady was like, be respectful of the situation. We don't know what's all going on. That sounds like a friend to me.
you know what? I give Tom Brady all the credit in the world because if that was me and he threw me under the bus, it wouldn't have been no press. We just would have fought. We would have fought. We would have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like I was just like, dude, like there's one point, like I said, there's one point that you just you just be quiet. Like I don't care what happened on the field because we're after that. We're past that. But you're over here literally blaming Tom Brady for your shit. That right there pissed me off.
That's his MO. Like he did it with Ben Roethlisberger. He did it with Tomlin. I remember it was a one game. He threw a water cooler out there because they threw the ball to Le'Veon Bell and Le'Veon Bell scored, and he threw the water cooler on the field. Like, bro, like come on, like. And that's me. Like me personally, like I said, I gotta give all the credit in the world to Tom Brady because Tom Brady was petty. He could have been shady, but Tom Brady has taken the higher road and say, "Look, this man needs help. This man needs to be evaluated. Just don't judge." Me personally, it wouldn't have been no press conference with me. We would just fought. I would have fought him.
Let me tell you something.
On site. Go ahead, Phil.
Let me tell you something. It wasn't a damn thing. Anybody at them cameras. I don't give a damn those cameras was rolling, not rolling.
Right.
When I tell you I'd have dug in AB, bruh. I'd have got off in his head. Because what you won't do, you won't belittle me. You won't make it seem like I am this terrible person. I open my home to you.
Yes.
Despite your allegations, you were around my wife and my children. And I open my home to you. I give you a second shot. I begged the coach who didn't want you on the team in the first place, said there was no way that you would be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And I talked this man into bringing you in. I tried to nurture. I tried to help you the best way I can. And this is how you repay me by trying to throw me down, trying to belittle me and put me down. Tom Brady is the utmost constant professional because I would have dug in AB's ass deep like in that press conference.
And it wouldn't even been no press conference with me. I would have been like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to say. When I see him, it's gonna be on site. We gonna box.
That is ridiculous. He really needs help. I am not judging this guy, but he does need professional help. And it saddens me that someone who could have had a spectacular career, a very spectacular career, has allowed things like this to get in the way. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can say everybody has their faults. But man, does he really put himself in a predicament where it is hard to root for him now. It really is hard to root for him. It's really hard.
And Brian, I get what you're saying. It would have made it worse, but honestly, he deserved that ass whooping. I would just have to give it to him. He could talk about me all he wants to, but he'll be talking about me with a black eye and a busted lip.
Yep. Like I said, it'd be different if Tom, like I said, threw him under the bus, but Tom has been nothing but grateful to him. Tom has been nothing but when you talk about loyalty, We always talk about that loyal friend. We always talk about you need some loyal friend in your corner. You always need a loyal friend to be there for you.
Yeah.
Tom was that loyal friend that he just threw under the bus.
He went above, like Phil said. He had him in his house with his wife and children.
Yeah.
His wife and like, bro, like you really just gonna throw this man under the bus after he put you around his family? Oh no, that's a violation on all accounts. And I wouldn't even been mad if Tom Brady beat his ass. I wouldn't even been mad at all
Yeah.
if Tom Brady would have beat his ass.
When I'm telling you, I'm talking about Misery. I'm talking about that movie Misery too. Putting that boy between them ankles.
Right, exactly. He would have got the RKO or something. He would have got something. He would have got something. It's just and I don't want to say it was the birth because everybody said it started with the birthday kick. But if you go back to his college days, and Ryan Clark warned everybody, and I
Yep.
wish I had the clip to play it, but Ryan Clark warned everybody about Antonio Brown. He said that if the Steelers or whoever gives Antonio Brown all this money, you're just gonna basically you turn him. He's gonna basically be Frankenstein. He's gonna turn into a monster, and that's what he did. Like I don't know if it was something in his past. I don't know if it was something that something traumatic happened to him, but
But his stepdad said he's never heard the.
it went way after. It was. I think it was way something happened way before the birthday hit. I think the birthday hit just accelerated the madness. That's just my opinion. I think it just accelerated.
It definitely knocked some screws that were already loose
That
out.
cord that was hanging got cut.
Yeah.
Cut. Yeah.
There was some screws already loose that got knocked out that day. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I went Brian. Like, we had to be outside with no cameras on. I'm talking about world star shade room type shit. Because I'm definitely would have. I would have definitely. I would definitely put my hands on him if he threw me under the bus. Especially the fact I had you around my wife and kids, and you gonna throw me under the bus? Oh no, I'm gonna have to put some hands on you, bro. I'll take that fine or that suspension, but I'm gonna put my hands on you.
Yeah, we were talking about AB the other day, and I was like, "Isn't he from Florida?" I'm like, "Yeah, he went to I'm looking at he's from Florida." And there's like when all that stuff came out, his stepdad came out and during that controversy, and his stepdad even said,
he was like
AB
that.
he was like this from like middle school, high school, because he never heard the word no. And I was talking to Samani and I's chiropractor, and we were talking about just how, like at some point, when does he, AB take responsibility for his actions and not blame it, and people stop blaming it on he might have CTE. I said no. He has to take some actions, but he might have CTE, but he has some other shit going on. He's definitely probably bipolar. And my chiropractor was like, "Oh, he's definitely bipolar." I can just tell you,
got to take that first step. Like nobody can make you. You know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink. He's got to be the one to say, you know what, I need help. We can all sit here, like you said, LD. We can all sit here and say, hey, he needs help. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. But it's ultimately up to him. He has to make a decision. We can't push a man to do something he don't want to. And I said it. I said it on one of my Facebook posts. I don't want to wake up one day and see this guy laid up somewhere dead.
Exactly.
I don't want to.
3 years down the line.
That's the road he's going to.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want that to happen. I want him to get help. Go ahead, Phil.
I can't stress enough. In my line of work, I deal with this a lot. And you can see that mentally he is not there. You can see that something is wrong mentally. And someone, even though everybody's saying he has to do it himself, someone has got to sit him down and say, hey, I need you to look at this, or give him scenarios of what he's done and said someone's did this, and say, you think this right? And then when he says no, like, hey, dog, that's what you did. Someone's got to tell him he's wrong. And even though when you're telling him he's wrong, he may not like it, that's the truth he needs to hear. He needs someone to sit him down and just finally tell him, hey, you are fucking up in the worst way, and you need to get a hold of yourself. You need a grip on reality. Whatever alternate universe you're in, I need you to leave that one and come back to reality. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing and what you're displaying is not normal functional behavior of an adult. And I don't
Yeah.
care who you are, that is not normal. There is something so wrong, and I'm just looking at it daily. And I'm telling you, Dre, I'm gonna one morning, I'm gonna look up and he's gonna be on Facebook as in such and such has happened to Antonio Brown. That's where I'm at. That's where I am with it
But go
because
ahead.
he is so stubborn and so boneheaded. I don't think he's gonna get the help that he needs.
Agree.
He's not gonna want to do it.
And that's the tragic part because, like you said, Phil, he's going down that road, and I've seen it so many times. LaDonna, you can read me when I say this. We see this so many times with black athletes that don't have control of their lives, and next thing you know, they're on an RIP post or the NFL sending out a condolences or something like that because the person didn't have control of their lives. And the crazy thing about it is, Antonio Brown had probably the greatest 6-year run as a wide receiver. Like
Yep.
in his prime, he was like the guy. He was like whenever we talk about the best receiver in the league, Antonio Brown was nearly at the top of everybody's list. I was a Falcons fan when we had Julio. I thought Julio was a great receiver. I thought he was a great receiver, but I always put Antonio Brown ahead of him because he had one of the greatest 6-year runs in his prime as a receiver. And I said, if this guy stays on the path that he's on, he's going to be a surefire first ballot Hall of Fame. He's going to be a surefire Hall of Fame because the run he went on was ridiculous. Like over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. Like the man couldn't guard it one-on-one. He was the best receiver at the time when you had the Julios and the DeAndre Hopkins and the Calvin Johnsons and the AJ Greens. He was at the top. He was the cream of the he was the guy. And just to see where that came from to where he is now, it was just a fall from grace. It was a huge fall from grace. And I felt sad about it because this man could have been, if he would have just stayed on the straight and narrow and he would just got his mind right, he could have been, we talk about T.O., Randy Moss, Jerry Rice
Up there.
as the big three as far as all wide receivers. He could have easily put his name in that conversation.
Yep.
He could have, but now he'll just be, like Phil said, he'll just be, hopefully not, he'll just be another footnote in what not to do in the NFL.
And he'll be just another black player we know. Like I hate to say that, but it's
right.
Yeah. That's where he's going to be.
Here's the thing about it, and the people, whether you're religious or not, whether you're not, I'm going to take it there. When I tell you, this is when you say fall from grace, this is literally God stripping you of everything that you wanted, and He's trying to help you see that you going overboard, you doing too much, you're putting yourself here, and I need to bring you down so you can see that this ain't all you.
Right.
And He's ignoring this. He's ignoring every sign that he needs help. And the fact that I still see people defending him to this day, you are the reason he's like this.
Enablers.
For Sean McCoy to come out and say what he said these last several days. Yeah. You are okaying this behavior from him.
Right.
This is why he's doing what he's doing. That can be your best friend, but tell that guy he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong. I'm not gonna, like I said, Aaron's can be wrong, but I'll say this: Bruce may be wrong, but I'm not seeing Bruce is not going to be called the ultimate unprofessionalist. He's not going to be called that. That title belongs to AB. You are ultimately very unprofessional. That's going to be your title. That's not going to be Aaron's title.
Yeah, it's not
you show nothing but unprofessionalism from the day that you walked into the NFL. And how you have a job still was through the grace that someone believed in you. The one person that was in your corner. And you do that. This is a lesson. This is a lesson right here. No team needs to get AB until he gets the proper help he needs. No team. He is untouchable. They need to ban him, do whatever they need to do. But he does not need to play in this league right now.
I think he's done. I think this is his last thing.
I think that was his last stint too. I think that was it. That was his last chance. He blew it.
I will say this, and I'm only saying this. I disagree with both of you guys. If a team is desperate enough, he will get another chance.
And that sucks. That lets you know that they don't care about you mentally. They're
Right.
doing this for them.
Right. And I don't condone it because, like, now think about it. People that beat their wives or did drugs. Look at Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon got umpteenth amount of chances. You know, who was the other guy? Reuben Foster. After he beat his girlfriend, he got another chance. Somebody
But
will.
you got to remember, but they changed the rules of the beating, so it's different now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk about that in my parting shot because I'm still kind of pissed off about the whole Watson situation.
Yeah.
But
say this.
but at the same time, if he took like some therapy or provided like some therapy, and the only reason I say that he might be done is because he did federal. Those are federal charges he could have caught, falsifying, carrying those falsified stuff. So somebody, and I'm pretty sure it's probably a Tom, Brady, that stuck out for him, and that's why he's not, in any more trouble than he is, or there might be charges coming later because he's in the middle of the season.
Oh no! That's a fact. That's the reason why he wasn't taken away from the team. Tom stuck his neck out again and told Aaron's, "I got him. I got him. Let me handle it."
So that's why I think he's untouchable. It's not even so much of this last stint. It's this. I really think it's because, like I said, he could be facing federal charges, and he could be like in jail, like trouble.
He could, but I will say this: the guy's talented. As crazy as we say he is, he's talented. And there are 32 teams out there, and there will be a team that is desperate enough that they need a receiver that they would be desperate enough to sign. But I will say this: if I'm a or a general manager of a team, and I have consideration to sign Antonio Brown, it's gonna be hella stipulations on his contract. It's gonna be hella stipulations like you need to get help, you need to do this, and if you can't abide by my stipulations, I'm not gonna pay you. We'll put that in the contract. I would. Like, and I get it, Brian, but I'm just saying, like, the NFL, they're known for giving people that bend the rules of them. They give them second chances. Like, they have.
Cowboys do it all the time.
Greg Hart.
Let me see what happened to with OJ Mayo and Tyreek Evans when it comes to basketball. They are banned right now. They are banned.
Yeah.
If the NFL took the NBA's way of this, then AB would be banned. There would be no Tom Brady talking anyone out to get you a position somewhere or getting you on a team. He needs serious help. And I'm hoping that he does get it. And maybe once he gives himself some time to heal, because, man, I'm telling you,
he's got a lot of
guy has so much hurt built up in him, and it has not been released, that it is tearing him up inside and out. It is tearing him up on the inside, and he's reflecting on the outside with his actions. If he doesn't get professional help, it will be too late.
I hope, like I said, I hope I don't get up one day and I see this guy laid up somewhere and he's got an RIP thing over his.
And you aren't the only person. Like, I've seen several posts, like, after the whole AB situation came out. And it was more of my podcasting friends, but they all came out and felt the same way. Like, we just don't want to see him in 3 to 5 years saying he's gone because of
or laid up somewhere. Like, I don't want to see that.
Late, and
it's tough.
It's tough because like you said, everybody said, even the comments, Ricky and Brian, we all thought he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. We all thought he was going to be in the Steelers Hall of Fame. We all thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was supposed to be the greatest Steeler wide receiver,
He had the greatest 6-year run by any wide receiver. Like, even Jerry
Rice. Not even close.
Yeah.
It really ain't close. If you look at his numbers and what he did, it's really not close
at all.
It's sad. I'm telling y'all, I'm angry
but I'm saddened by the situation because it seems like, and I'm sorry, and I don't like to put a race on it, but it always seems like it's a brother to just come out and have something go wrong so bad when you have all this talent. What is it that could have caused you to go awry like this? But I really think this is him being brought down, taking off his pedestal. This is God's way of saying, "Hey, I gotta knock you down a little bit. I need you to wake up. I need you to see what you're doing before it's too late. So I'm gonna knock
This
you
is
down." But if
this is
he
what
don't
happens when
acknowledge
you
it,
have but this is what happens when you have yes men and
Yeah,
I
women.
don't need
So
none of
there's
those.
right.
all
Somebody,
your
some
life,
somebody should have
all your
been,
life.
somebody should have been in his ear and been like, "Bro, this ain't the move, homie. You gotta, you're one of the best receivers in the league. You have a tendency to potential to be an all time great in the league, and you're blowing it. You're blowing it because your ego and the fact that you can't get help and your ego is getting in the way. Because like I said, look at his numbers. Look at his numbers from about 2004, well, whenever he first came in the league, till about 6 years. That man had probably one of the best runs of any receiver at any
Yeah.
time. Like that man was basically unguardable as one on, like he was basically unguardable 1-on-1. Like that man could not be stopped 1-on-1. And it was just amazing to see him go against these great cornerbacks. And he just makes them look like rookies because that's how good he was. And he just
Somebody was like, remember when he knocked out? He tried to jump over
jump
the
over
kicker.
jump kick the kicker, yeah. Like, but it's sad. It's sad. And like Phil said, it's sad because he could have been an all time great. Like I said, we talk about T.O., Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice. He could have been number 4 or 3 when it was all said. No, he could have been ahead of Moss. He could have been ahead of T.O. You know, I mean, I'm not putting anybody, but for Jerry Rice is the gold standard as far as receivers. But he could have
Yeah.
easily passed those two if he would have just kept his head on the straight and narrow. But it's like Phil said, it's just a stigmatism with brothers. It's just a stigma with brothers. They get the NFL and they don't know how to act.
And like I said, when you don't have the proper people around you, you might have all the great, accountants, whatever, but if you don't have somebody telling you at least no,
Somebody
or at
tell you
least
shut the
once
fuck
in you don't at once and
up.
and at least once a month, you know what I'm saying?
You need
Once every
you
6 months,
right.
this
You need to shut the
like
fuck up, Fred. You need one of
Right.
them.
You really do. Like you
you
need that
really
type
do
of friend
like
to tell you, hey, okay,
Shut.
so your mortgage is $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
but you gonna spend $2 million on a car. Now you need to make this make sense to me. What's more important? Something to ride in or something to keep a roof over your head?
yeah.
Like you make it make sense to me. You need that type of person to break it down to. Everyone needs that type of person. I hate to say
Yeah.
it, but I'm that friend. I'm like, now you tell me whether this makes sense. And I always do that to people because if you're not rationally thinking at the time, being
Mm-hmm.
that you're telling me your plan, I've got to at least step in and say, wait a minute, rationally, I don't think you should do this because you
Right.
got
Yeah.
this, that, and coming up, this and this and this and this and this. But there's not somebody in AB's corner that does that. They
Yeah.
look
No.
at the money, they're looking at the
Mm-mm.
dollar signs that he has and what he pays, and they're like, yeah, that's a great idea.
And what he
Sure,
could
you
do
should. Sure, you
and what
should jump off the roof butt naked without a helmet.
I
Yeah,
see,
that's a great
and I
idea.
see, and I see that he's used to like if you don't fuck with him, like sorry to say that word, because we're trying to watch our language, but if you don't fuck with him, he throws you under the bus. And this is how he got caught with the fake cards, anyways, because obviously you didn't pay your chef. I don't care if you don't like the situation or not, just pay it, sue him. You know what I'm saying? Do something. But instead, this dude could have potentially ruined your career with legal troubles. Like you said, he's the legal troubles one after the other after the other. And like I said, Tom saved him, but we don't know if he actually got saved from actual federal charges. Like he might have delayed the federal charges, or if they
right.
or if they're going to go after the bigger fish, like who provided you these cards instead of you just carrying them. But you know,
he's got a long road ahead of him as far as everything,
yeah,
like mental health, the
everything.
legal battles. He's got a long road ahead of him. And as much as I said that I would love for him to play another, I might be on the fence. I might be with y'all. He might not ever see another NFL field again.
Mm-mm. I wanted to,
So I will say this. I will
because
say
he
this.
looks happy. That's the
I,
only time he looks happy.
I will say this. He better have a lot of money saved because he better save up that money. So it's gonna be a long road for homie. So I mean, I hope he gets the
Yeah,
help.
because that rap career is not. No, that's not it. Mm-mm.
And he like I said, I don't want to see him with a rest in peace sign in front of his name in about 3 to 5 years.
No pit in the palace. That's no.
None of that. Right.
Whatever is it, pit in the palace or no pit in the palace? Is it? I think it's no pit in the palace. His rap song. If y'all didn't know, he had a rap song out. I was not joking. I'm about to look it up. I think it's no pit in the palace. Yeah. Yeah, it's pit. No, oh, pit, not the palace. That's what it is. Pit, not the palace. It came out about a couple weeks ago. Yeah. If you haven't heard it, it's sad. Like, no. And then there's this guy that used to play for the Cowboys. His name is Dez. And he wrote, Dez felt like that he could make a verse for it too, for a remix. If he does a remix, Dez, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's like I
Please,
said. I
please,
said it was a.
please, no pit in the palace. No, nobody. No
I
pitting
said.
in the palace.
I said. I said it was a far from great. Phil said it was a God stripping him of everything. So he's definitely got to do some soul searching. That's for sure. He definitely got to do some soul searching.
Yeah, and not rapping. Soul searching. No rapping. No, like no.
Yeah, he was a better football player than he was a rapper because I heard that song and I was just like, yeah, I need my 3 minutes and 38 seconds back.
Well, hold on. Did you hear that? Did you hear Dez's verse? He's like, I'm not a rapper, but let me know if this is hot. No, sir. This is
no.
Not
everybody can be. Not everybody can be a Shaq or a Damian Lillard. Okay, not everybody can rap and play balls. No, not everybody.
No. Like, that's how mad I am about the whole situation. Like, oh my god. Yeah, he was hanging out with Kanye, and
it was Kanye and Floyd in the game, and all like
the whole picture, and Madonna. And like the whole picture, and there's Madonna.
That whole picture screamed, "I need help."
That whole picture needed Jesus and like everything. Like it needed probably AA. It probably needed some AA in there. It needed,
mental
health. Yeah, it needed
psychologist, whatever. It was
because Kanye, Kanye is a genius when it comes to. Is he snoring? Yes.
Yeah, he is.
I muted though. Kanye is a flipping genius when it comes to the music world and getting people to buy anything that he has. Either it's clothing, his his music, tickets, whatever. But something hadn't been right. He hadn't been right since his mom died. And
that's another one.
And people could say all they want about Kanye, but he's a musical genius when it comes, like, he always creates a beef. Then 2 days later, I keep telling y'all, like, he created a beef, and guess what? There's a CD about to drop. He creates this, a CD's about to drop. Like, and but it was just like AB. I felt like he tried to do the same thing. Like he tried to cause this controversy, and then he drops that whack ass song. Like no, this is not the same. Like you don't. This is this is not it. But yeah, that picture screamed, I have way too much money, and Kanye's new girlfriend needs to know that she's just a rebound. And the whole picture was just
It's
sad.
a whole mess. It really is a whole mess. Like
Sad.
I'm just
I was just looking at it and I was like, the only person that's somewhat sane is the game. Like this is sad when the game.
he got issues too. So don't get it twisted. He got issues
I
too.
know,
This is just
I
more
know,
convert.
I know. That's what I said. Somewhat sane. It's the person that is, like I said, more kind of sane.
Like I
The
said,
game. Definitely a referral.
it was sad, man. It was sad. It was really is like I don't really know what else to say about it. I just really hope he gets help. I really does. I really hope so because he was a great player. And looking at his all time career stat line, I want to say it's Hall of Fame worthy, but I seriously doubt he gets in. He might not even get in. And if he does get in, it'll be one of those senior votes. You know what? Just let him in, whatever, whatever. But I don't think he would definitely not be. I think first, second, third time he won't get put in because of his shenanigans per se. So
Yeah. They I think the only way he gets in if he does Steelers is if he apologizes. Like
and that
he's done.
that'll be a cold day in hell. That'll be a cold
Yeah.
day in hell when that happens.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is sad. But like I said, he's got to A, he's got to admit that he needs help, and B, like Phil said, he needs somebody in his corner to be like, hey, bro, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're gonna move on. Like I said, I wasn't expecting us to speak.
Antonio Brown was 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Tio got in, but Antonio Brown's behavior has been so much worse than Tio. You got to remember, Tio just was just a
T.O. was
diva. Tio
mild.
was T.
Compared to AB, T.O. was mild. Trust me,
Yeah.
T.O. was a great. And it hates me to say that as much as people say T.O. was a jackass, he wasn't as bad as AB was.
Yeah. That's hey, you okay over there, Phil?
Yeah,
We'll,
I'm just trying to
we'll say
figure
he
out.
got,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the fall from grace. Like, how hard was it? Like, how far and hard did you hit your head, man?
It was pretty hard. Like I said, I think I was looking at his stat line, his career stat line from 2013 to 2018. He had over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, and I think all but 1 year he had double-digit touchdowns. And that 1 year he didn't have double-digit touchdowns, he had 9. So yeah, that run he had from 2013 to 2018, that's probably one of the greatest runs I ever seen from a wide receiver. So, but it is what it is. I hope he learns from it and he realizes that before it's too late. Like Phil said, before it's too late. I hope he realizes it.
But we this weekend.
Huh?
This weekend, I was moving on. This weekend it is UFC 270. And this is the heavyweights. This is
Oh yeah,
Ngannou.
I wanna ask a question. How the hell or how the heck this other guy? I haven't never heard of him. How did he become an
Shane.
intern champ? It seems like every time I watch the UFC
They
fight,
created
they always have an
they
intern champ.
they
I'm like,
they created a belt. Who did Gain fight his last fight? They created a
I
belt,
just don't think it.
and it was Derek Lewis. That's what it was. They created a belt because they was trying to get. Remember, they're trying to
It
get.
doesn't make sense. Like,
They were trying to get Derek Lewis and Nagano to fight again. Remember that?
oh
And
yeah,
it didn't go. I don't think Derek wanted to fight. Um, I don't think Derek wanted to fight for the championship, and so they fought, and Derek lost, and so that's what he created this interim BS. So now that put him, because Derek Lewis was like number one at the time, that put him now at the number one spot, and that's how he got in. That's
yeah, I
how
don't.
he.
Yeah, I just.
But yeah, it was they created it, and Nagano was pissed.
I would be
Like,
too, because
and
why would you make an
he
interim
said,
champion? You know, I'm the legit champion. Why would you want to
yeah,
make it like? I just don't get it. Like they do the same thing in boxing too. Like, why you need to make an interim championship? Like that makes no sense to me.
yeah, he's like, he is pissed to be. This is, he said, after this is it. He said he's done. Like, this is going to be Nagano's last fight. Yeah, this is going to be his last fight.
Well,
He's,
I guess that means we want. I guess that means we won't watch the dream matchup between him and Bones. Then
nope. Yeah, because I don't even know if Bone,
well,
like, where Bone is even allowed to.
well, he got Bones got his own trouble. So yeah,
Yeah,
he got his own trouble. So
yeah. Because
I
right
get
now,
it. I really get it.
Dana has him on the roster still, but Dana hasn't said, oh, he's going to fight because they're still at war over money.
This is true. So
Yeah, so
we'll see what happens.
that's what.
What we can
Yeah, so
do.
That's going to happen this weekend. Um, Nagano and Gain. I just closed it and I didn't mean it, but yeah, it's happening this Saturday. Um, and it's going to be, and then also on that fight is going to be, oh, I don't know where it go. Brandon Moreno versus Figueroa, and I think that's the rematch. Um, like that's how Brandon's last fight, Moreno, like he wasn't supposed to win.
Hmm.
Like he was the underdog, and he came back and won. So this is like for him first time defending his belt.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know who that fight is. This fight like is not have it's not like ooh because it's on. It's only on, and I'm not saying only, but it is a pay per view. But it's only on um, ESPN Plus. Like it's not like I know most of them are going like that, but it's like even though it's like it's supposed to be a big UFC pay per view, it's not like
Hmm.
their other ones. Um, but yeah, that's this weekend. Um, your dude Mike Tyson said he'll fight one of the Paul brothers. They said they have verbally agreed, and I said I have to see the knockout rules. Like that's my one regulation. Is like
That,
for
you
me
know,
to
honestly,
actually see it.
they're gonna make sure that he doesn't get knocked out because they don't want that dude.
Well, they didn't have him in obviously the last one when he fought Tyron Woodley. They didn't
Hmm.
have it. But if it's labeled exhibition
Hmm.
fight, then yes, there's no knockout rules. Because that's what why Floyd, everybody was like, "No, Floyd's going to knock him out." Floyd, he's like, no, it was just for entertainment. And the rules came out that he could not knock him out. So, like, if they say this is an exhibition fight for Mike Tyson, then we already know this is going to be some BS. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But if they are
Sure they're
saying
gonna
it's
put
an
it in the
actual
rule. I'm
fight,
sure they're gonna put it in the rule book where
yeah,
I'm sure they're gonna put in the rule book where he can't knock him out. I already know because
yeah,
if it was like the original rules, Tyson would probably kill him.
yeah. But I'm ready for him to get killed. Everybody keeps saying he's helping, like he's hurting or helping. Like everybody has an opinion. I feel like he's hurting it. Like
Mm-hmm.
because now like these other people are calling out other people to box, and I'm like, what if they don't want to box you? Like, cause he
Mm-hmm.
tried to call out some UFC fighters, and Dana was like, no. They was like, no. He was like, I'll pay you, try to get him to pay more. I get that, but you ain't gonna mess up my people for fighting, doing different things. No, stay. But yeah, Woodley got KO'd. Like I said, but because they were saying that that was in their first fight clause,
And
and it
I
wasn't.
think, I honestly, I
I
think
think
that
it
probably
was.
was staged too. That was staged.
Yeah, like he ate it. Whatever it was staged or not, he ate it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he came on, he was like, I never lost like that. But he's not a boxer. He was a straight wrestler. And that's the difference when you know you box a wrestler. Like it might not go your favor, obviously. Um, but yeah, I just don't like what he's doing to the game. I never was a
Well,
fan.
I mean, you can't really blame him because these
Nope.
boxers don't want to fight. They don't want to
Yep.
fight. Like Crawford and Spence don't want to fight each other. Canelo, I guess Canelo and Charlo was talking about fighting, but that's just the rumor. Like I can't. As much as I say that Paul is disrespecting the game of boxing. I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming these boxers that don't want to fight each other.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to make the fights that people want to see. And if you don't make the fights that people want to see, then guess what? They're gonna go watch other stuff. So who is there to blame? It's not them. It's not Paul. It's the
Like
boxers.
even what's his name? Caleb Plant wants to fight one of the Charlo brothers. And I was like, I'm down to see that. Like, make it happen. Like Plant posted that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't fan created. He was like, let's make this happen. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to see that. Like let's see that. Let's like bring the like 2022. Anything in boxing, let's do bring fights that people want to see.
Well,
Let's say that.
and
Let's say that.
well, I mean, you're right. They have to, but it's not. They want to make it, but in order for those fights to be made, these boxers got to get off social media and start fighting. They on
Yeah,
social media too much. That's the problem.
yeah, just,
They doing too much talking on social media where they should be trying to make a fight. They're trying to make a fight so the people can see.
yeah,
And then they say, we know, well, boxing is dead. No, it's not. Well, it is if we don't see the fights that we want to see.
agreed.
You know, it sucks. But until these fighters get in the ring and fight each other, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, both of them, both Paul brothers. 'Cause from I'm gonna tell you, I just realized within like the last 2 months there was two. Like that's how much I didn't realize. I kept thinking it was only one, but then I was like, oh, there's two.
Hmm.
Two I don't care for, but NBA
But
news. Oh,
I don't really
well,
have any NBA news except KD has
no,
an
the
injury.
good
He's injured. I don't know how bad. I don't know how serious it is, but he got a knee
person
injury.
Chandler Parson. He said he's gonna be out for
Chandler
two to
Parsons
four
retired.
weeks. Chandler Parsons retired because of injury, and they said he settled his accident. Like I guess he sued for an accident that happened last year. And
Hmm.
peace out, Ricky. And so that's about it. Oh, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Um,
Kyrie, they might have to
getting
pay a
into it
fine for
with
him to play.
Kyrie, and then Kyrie getting into it with fans today.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard about Durant and his
Steph,
injury, right?
yeah, as I said, he's out 2 to 4 weeks, and
Oh, I thought
then
it was 6 to 7. Did they shorten it? I thought it said six to
yeah,
seven weeks. Oh,
it
so
might
no,
have
not
6 to 7.
4 to 5 weeks.
It might have been
4 to 5 weeks. Yeah,
4 to 5. That's what it was for.
4 to 5
Okay,
weeks.
and then um, Russell Westbrook was on fire yesterday, and one of the light skinned brothers, Steph, is doing his greatest Russell Westbrook impression of not hitting, um,
Well, yeah,
and
every
hitting.
player
Yeah,
goes. And, and
everybody
the
goes through
crazy
a
thing
slump.
about it is,
Everybody goes through a
the
slump.
crazy thing about it is, when I put it in the Hodgepodge group, people thought I was being a hater. I was like, no, every player goes through it.
Yeah,
Every player goes
yeah,
through a slump.
yeah.
It
It just
happens.
and everybody just talking about making fun of Westbrook, but Steph's numbers weren't really far from Westbrook, but it's just because he shoots more.
Hmm.
That's the only difference. Um, so if you got to be on one, you got to be on the other. I'm not saying, that's just my opinion. Um, I do like that Devin was like, do not compare me, you know, to these greats. I'm not there yet. And I like that in these young players. They're coming out, and they're trying to compare them to, any older,
Hmm.
and they're like, oh, stop. He's like, y'all ain't like y'all when y'all say I'm in that Mamba mentality. I ain't like when y'all say that. Like, let me be. And I think that would be hard, as an NBA any athlete. You're trying to get your name out there, and they keep naming you. They keep comparing you to, you know, two or three other players. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for NBA news. Um, and Major League is still locked out. Baseball. So there's that. Yeah. But I guess it comes to that time of we get stuff off our chest and we call it parting shots. And do you have any parting shots, sir?
So I'm like, I don't have one, but you said you got something, so I'm gonna let you go first.
I got one. Dear Dallas Cowboy fans.
Seems like
So
if
there,
it's true, what you're about to say, it seems like it's one every week. But go ahead.
I feel like
Seems like it's one
so
every time on Facebook I see one. It never fails.
so Stefan Gilmore did a messed up. He messed up play. Um, oh, not Stefan Gilmore. Oh, what's his name?
Trayvon
Uh,
did.
no, it starts with a G.
Oh, the guy
Is
that
it?
with the
Is it?
legal hands to the face.
Yeah, is it Gallimore?
Yeah, I think it
Yes,
was
it's
Gallimore. Yeah,
Gallimore.
the one that
It's
had the legal hands
Gallimore.
to the face. Yeah,
Neville
legal hands to
Gallimore.
the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay. So, dear Dallas Cowboys fans, so Gallimore takes the blame for Cowboys loss, even though the Cowboys got the ball back after that.
Hmm.
He's like, I let you down, you know, come after me. But they're coming after the family. And I know I've said this before, like with other players. But y'all are the most, and whoever's doing it, what is the y'all? Like whoever is coming after this man's family
Hmm.
are the most insensitive, scary ass, Twitter fingers, keyboard warriors, people on this planet. I'm tired of this cancel culture and I'm tired of these keyboard warriors. This is why, like I said, if my child happened to get famous, he wouldn't see social media, and his family wouldn't see social media. And you know why? Because they, because of stuff like this. A couple weeks ago, it was Baker Mayfield's fiance receiving death threats. Now here we are with Neville Gallimore for the Cowboys getting death threats, family getting death threats. Like, y'all, seriously, I people. hate people who think that they can do a person's job better than them. If I played, I would have did that and did A, B, C, and D. You don't know what you're gonna do out there on that field, sir or ma'am. Um, and this is why, like, it bugs me. Bugs me so much that they have done this to this poor man. And I wish people would just get their shit together. I really do. I hope they start, and and what these people need to do, and these people, I mean, like athletes, they need to start pressing charges on all of them. I don't care how petty it is. You came after my family. Like he said, it's one thing you coming after me, but you coming after my family. I would press charges on every single one of them, because guess what? More than likely, it's across state lines, or and it's federal charges. Don't let your wife be pregnant, because it's not just one person they're coming at. They're going to come and they're going to press charges for two people. So anybody that does it, thinks about doing it, get your shit together. Like, grow the F up. Like, seriously, these keyboard warriors, I hate y'all. Because y'all wouldn't be brave enough to say this in this man's face. If y'all do it from the stands 3 rows away when he can't reach you. But if he was in front of you,
He asked for his autograph.
Exactly.
He asked for his autograph.
Oh, Gallimore, you're so great. Can I have your autograph? I love you so much.
You know how it goes. They would ask for your autograph.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, so that's all, that's all I ask. Like, I'm not even asking. I don't think I'm asking for much, but, I feel like I am, because weekly. And then, P.S. Here's the P.S. My fan base is dumb. Please do not put me with my fan base, because I'm not them. I don't think we're going to the Super Bowl every year. I don't think we're great because we keep beating teams that don't have a 500 record. I don't think that our offense was amazing, or our defense was amazing, or even our record was amazing. I'm a realistic fan, and like I said, just don't put me, because not all Cowboys fans are bad. Because that's what a lot of people don't like the Cowboys, because of their fan base. I'm not that fan base. I'm the logical thinking person from the bad fan base. So please do not put me in there, please, for the love of God, because I don't have no fan base. Like, I'm probably in any Cowboys groups. Like, I don't, I can't. Like, and if I'm in a Cowboys group, it's probably muted. But that's all I got. Anybody else got a parting shot?
I don't really have one. Honestly, I don't really have a parting shot. I don't. I really don't have one. I mean, I could make a generic one. Yeah, well, I could make a generic one. I don't know how people feel about this whole COVID situation. I don't know how people feel about, everybody has their reasoning on why or why not to get vaccine, but consider the fact that this new variant, this Omicron, is basically like getting everybody. Like I've known several people to have contracted it, and some people have, you know, got the best of it, and some got the worst of it. And I had a good friend of mine, of her friend, her daughter passed away at 19 from it, uh, from COVID. So all I'm gonna say is this. This is all I'm gonna say. Whatever you believe in, that's fine. If you feel that the vaccine doesn't do anything for you, that's cool. If you want to get vaccine, that's fine. But I want you to be respectful of everybody else that does or does not, because I see a
Mhm.
lot of people being judgmental to other people who say they are or they're not going to get it. Okay, we all, I know, we want this to be over with and we want this to pass on, but honestly, I think this is going to be our new normal. But I will say, um, just protect yourself and your family, because you never know. Especially now, like I said, with this new variant, it's getting everybody, and
Yep.
a lot of people are, they're still adamant about, you know, my body, my choice. And you're right, but you can't get mad at somebody that decided to make a choice about their body as far as getting the vaccine. You can't do that,
Yeah.
and vice versa. But all I'm saying is that just take into consideration what you have to do as far as beating this. Do your part, because you may make it seem like it's not my problem, but trust me, it's your problem, because you don't even have to. You don't even know if you have it. And you can give it to somebody, and it could affect them and somebody else. Like,
Yep.
like I said, it's getting everybody right now. Like, I know they're sending out COVID tests to everybody. I just got mine. Mine again sitting here. I got 4 coming this way, and just be mindful and be mindful, and
I just
just
get 4.
well, everybody gets 4. It's per
Okay.
household. Per
Okay.
household, everybody gets 4. Like, Trisha sent me the link, and everybody gets 4
Oh yeah,
per
because I sent
household.
it to her.
Yeah, it's 4 per household. So I got 4 coming.
Yeah, I
Uh,
sent I sent it to her. Everybody, I just didn't know how many you were getting, so I just sent it. I sent it, and I made sure like other people got it because it was actually not supposed to come out till tomorrow. And it secretly got
I
released.
saw I saw I saw it on the news this evening
Yeah.
while we were doing a podcast, and she sent me the link, and I said, "Well, I might as well get it," because I am fully vaccinated, and I'm still debating if I want to get the booster shot. Now they're talking about possibly getting a 4th. Like, I don't know
Okay.
if I'm gonna go that far. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but I am fully vaccinated, because this new mandate at my job where they want you to be vaccinated or take the COVID test, and a lot of people are saying that they're gonna quit, which, that's their decision. If they want to quit, that's them. But me personally, I just bought this house. Uh, I love my job. My job. I love what I do, and it's afforded me the luxuries to do what I need to do. So I did what I had to do. It's just like if somebody wants to do what they have to do. If they have to take the vaccine, and that's the risk, they're willing to take, then that's what you got to do. But me personally, like
If
me,
I
I don't,
ever
I
get
don't, I
quit,
don't.
I do need a job.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people, like, people, what's they call that, the water cooler talk. A lot of people are saying they're gonna walk out if they're forced to take the vaccine. Um, but they are, if you don't take the vaccine, you're allowed to do the testing. You have to be tested, and it's going to be crazy. So uh, I'm not one, but I'm not one of these ones that will judge you if you're not
Yeah.
vaccinated. That's not my place. That's between you and your beliefs. That's your thing. So I'm not going to judge anybody. But I will say this: be mindful of people that say, I don't want you around me because you're either vaccinated or you need to be mindful of that because I read a story on Twitter and it was actually kind of sad that this happened. This lady threw a party. Well, actually it was a friend of a friend. She threw a party and she wanted everybody to come to her house vaccinated. Well, apparently one of the people tested positive for COVID, didn't inform the person, still came to the party. Now four of her family members got it, including two of her two grandparents. Now, me on the other hand, if I found that out that you did that, I'd probably kill you
Hmm.
because I don't mind you if you don't want to be vaccinated, that's fine. But the fact that you violate, you not first of all you lied. Then you come into my house and put not only me in danger, but you put my grandparents in danger, who are probably fairly old,
Yeah.
and you lied about the fact that not you're not COVID free, and then you put my family in danger. I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm gonna have to kill you because that first of all, that's very selfish. That's very selfish on your part that you did that. And then second of all, what if, you know, God forbid, what if one of my grandparents pass away because of your selfishness?
Yeah.
So that means that one person's gonna be dead, and and the one person I'm gonna be in jail because I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah.
So just be mindful. That's all I'm saying. Just be mindful. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. But at the same time, don't jeopardize other people's health when they say, "Hey, I don't want you around because you're not vaccinated." Don't make a big fuss. Don't talk about these theories. Just be like, you know what? I respect that. All right, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna back off. Don't try to.
And vice versa.
Right,
You know.
Correct.
absolutely, vice versa too. Yeah, vice versa. If you don't want me to be around because I'm vaccinated, okay, that's cool. All right, but I think it's just the fact that people are so hell bent on trying to prove another person wrong or make another person bend to their will. That's why there's a lot of strife going on now.
All
So
right.
that's just my,
And
but that's my part of that. I ain't need to ramble on so long, but yeah, just
no,
be
you
mindful.
good.
Let's be mindful. That's all.
No, you good. And to touch on what you said, and I need to make this perfectly clear to everyone. I need everybody to hear me very well. It is a vaccine. It is not a fucking cure. Can we all get that through our skulls? It's a vaccine. It's not a cure. So I don't need you to say because I'll be the first person to say that I am not vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Right,
But I don't knock anybody who is.
right.
And here's what and the thing about it is I've been hearing so many people say, oh my God, if the people that are unvaccinated are getting the vaccinated people sick. No, you got yourself sick, and here's why. Just because you are vaccinated, that don't mean you stop following the guidelines and the rules that they provided for us
Yeah.
with with COVID running around. You are
Mm-hmm.
still supposed to wear your mask. You are
Mm-hmm.
still supposed to have on protective covering. You still
Yeah.
should keep your hands and other objects thoroughly sanitized. So for you to have caught it, mean you didn't follow the rules and guidelines yourself.
Right.
Everybody wants to blame everybody except themselves.
Exactly.
That's like if I go into a crowd of people in a club in a damn titty bar, no mask on, and wondering why I have COVID. I have nobody to blame but myself.
Right.
Accountability has to be held, and let's just be honest, it's our fault right here because it said that COVID could have died a long time ago had we just followed the guidelines the
Right.
first time around.
Right.
No one
But
listened.
instead of Texas one, be happy go
Yeah.
lucky
It's
and reopen it because everybody
I
else will
think
reopen early.
I think it's Texas. I want to say
Yeah.
Arizona is ahead of Texas now, but Texas and Arizona been kind of swapping the top spot, and then you got
Again.
Florida, and California. It's like those are the top four states as far as infection.
And those are very populated areas.
Mm-hmm.
Very populated areas. But I keep telling people, I was like, it's not a cure, it's a vaccination. I
Mm-hmm.
said it doesn't stop you from getting it, it just lessens your symptoms. Doesn't make you feel as bad. And God forbid, I'm not trying to jinx myself. I am not vaccinated, no. but I've never had COVID.
Right.
That's because I'm following the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping on a mask. As much as I hate no mask, and I already
Mm-hmm.
have asthma and bronchitis, as much as I hate putting that mask on my face for it to not deter, excuse me, for it to mess with my breathing already than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nightmare for me. But I'd rather have that nightmare for 12 hours at work than to
Mm-hmm.
spend an eternity in the grave right now because I'm not ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. And it's and they make it at my job. It's mandatory. You have to wear a mask at my job. So I get it.
That is,
I get it.
that's crazy. I can never, I don't follow anyone who is vaccinated, but I do need the people who are vaccinated to stop making it seem like you got sick
Yeah.
because it was just somebody who was
Right.
unvaccinated.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't knock anybody. If you're not vaccinated, that's your choice. Like I feel that everybody should have a right to decide what they want to do with their bodies. I get that. But at the same time, I don't need people chastising each other because you're not vaccinated or vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Phil, you say you're not vaccinated. I respect it. That's your decision. I'm not going to change how I feel because I'm vaccinated. But a lot of these people feel that okay, if I just make them bend to my will, no, it's not. That's not how it works. That's why it's called free will. You do what you want to do, and you have to suffer the consequences or the repercussions of what you do. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
your decision. Like what's the saying? What I eat don't make you shit.
Correct.
So if you feel that's the best option for you not to be vaccinated, that's your choice. Like people need to understand that. Like people, that's why, like I said, it's called free will. You make the choice that you want to make. That's what's best for you. And the people will understand that the world will be a better place. But unfortunately, everybody has an ego and everybody feels that
And
they're
it's not
right.
even just, and it's not even just about the whole COVID situation, just the world in general.
Just
Me
in general,
being,
right? Yeah.
black woman, if you're, trans, lesbian, gay, queer, bi, whatever
It's
your sexuality is, I don't understand why my sexuality or somebody else's sexuality hurts you. I don't get, you know what I'm saying? So that's what, just be mindful. Just be on top of
be
everything. Just be
kind. That's
mindful.
all I can
Be
say. Be kind
kind.
or try to be. Try to be kind
I
because
am
you don't
trying
know
Right.
to,
what you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what that
yes,
person's going through. And
I, I changed our page, one of our pages. That
mhm,
used to be our network page. I changed it to a better positive. I want positive stuff because we can throw sports at people all day,
mhm,
but there's people that need motivation, and I have
mhm,
my motivation group. It's going strong. I get so many people telling me thank you for doing that group because it helps them during bad days or it helps them through hard times or whatever.
mhm.
So I decided to make a page dedicating to doing all positive stuff. And I'm just going to keep pump positive, for everybody, you
Right.
know. So I'm just trying to, I just want to be part of the world that is that I said I did my part of being a happy human.
Mhm. But yeah, it's you got to be, you got to be kind. Because like I said, I always go by this motto from Charlemagne. Charlemagne said, "You got to be kind to folks because some folks wake up, some people wake up and they choose violence, and if you mess with
Yep.
them long enough, they're gonna bring that violence to you. So you just got to be mindful of folks because you know what a person goes through. That's why
Yep.
I don't try to, I don't try to I try to listen to people from their perspective because you never know. And it's always, and then another thing too, it's always good to disagree. You don't always have to agree with somebody. Like me and Ladonna, we know we're good friends, but we disagree on a lot of stuff. But it doesn't deter me from being her friend. You know, and if you and
Right.
if
I
you
feel like that makes us better though because we learn from each other. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
exactly. Like I'm always, like I said, that's why a lot of people that I listen to, or a lot of people that they don't have the same background as me because that's how you learn. If you have the same background as me, how am I gonna learn?
yeah.
You're gonna have to open your mind a little bit, stop being closed minded sometimes. And I feel that if people I feel if people would focus on themselves and stop, like LaDonna said, what my sexual orientation got to do with your life. If people start worrying about their lives instead of everybody else's, the world will be a better place. Like, I got my own problems. Why am I worried about what you're doing? I got my own problems and my own issues I got to deal with. So why am I worried about what you're doing on your side?
Correct.
All I'm here, Lord, is just to be a friend. And if you need somebody to talk to, that's fine. But I'm not one of these ones that's going to judge you based off what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, when we all of us is going to have to meet our maker one day, that's what we're going to have to answer to. You ain't going to answer to none of us. We're going to have to answer whoever our maker is. Whoever you believe in, whether it's God, Buddha, whatever. That's who you're going to have to believe in. That's who you're going to have to meet. And they're the one that you're going to have to answer to, not one of us. So who am I to judge? And I think more people need to take into account that they're not Jesus. They don't need to be judging folks on what they're doing because that's not their place.
Exactly. I agree with that. And I think that's like a good note to leave on. Like, just like I said, just be mindful. That's a whole nother conversation. Tomorrow I will be on Just Say the Truth on the ASAP network with, I don't know who's going to answer tomorrow. I'm going to be honest with you. So to see us tomorrow on the same network, I will be on at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are on Wednesdays and Fridays. Tomorrow is my hubby's birthday, so I may or may not be on. So like I said, we'll see about that. But thank you, everybody that has watched and listened. And we had a lot of new people come on. I think they're ready. I think they're ready for the show to come on because I had a lot of people come on talk about the Cowboys, and they were ready and seeing how pissed off my husband was.
He was pretty upset. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he must be at work or something. So I'm surprised he ain't jump on and rant.
Yeah, he's in the back doing. Yeah, he's moving his monitors and stuff. So that's probably the biggest reason. But I'm just kind of glad that he did not break a TV.
Well, I saw the videos you sent in the inbox. I could tell he was not happy. So,
when he scared the kid, he scared the kid. Like Tariq was scared, and I was like, "Oh, this is only the beginning."
Well,
that's what I wanted to do. This is only the beginning. But yeah, like I said, thank you everybody that came and talked to us, and we will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I wish everybody to be safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, whatever you got to do, stay safe, try to stay COVID free. Yeah, because like I said, I know some of the people right now that have it.
Yeah, I know, like I said, it seems like every person I talk to, they either had it or they're going through it or they just got over it. And then another thing, too, if you're not vaccinated, do what Phil says. At least do, wear the mask and wash your hands and all the other stuff. At least do that part.
Yeah.
Can't hurt you.
Yeah, at least do that part. You should be doing that. You should be washing your hands anyway, you nasty asses.
No. Well, and on that note, we will see you guys next week.
I mean, if you ain't wash your hands anyway before the whole COVID thing, if you ain't wash your hands before, you're just a nasty ass. That's all I'm saying. You're a nasty ass.
Okay, nasty asses, wash your hands and peace out.
Wash your hands. Please wash your hands, because I know a couple people at work that don't wash their hands. They won't have the nerve to try to shake my hand. Man, you better get out my face with that
Wash
shit.
your hands. You do ask some people to wash their hands. You ask some people to wash their hands. Some people don't like to wash their ass. Now that's a whole different story. But you know what? I'm gonna leave.
Man, hey, look, that's a whole different show. We could talk about that for another hour. People don't like to wash their hands and shit, wash their ass. That's a whole different show.
Whole different show. But yes, we'll talk to y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week. And see you later.
All right, peace out. See y'all next week.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.